We have unbelievable breaking news of a Bigfoot sighting and violent encounter caught on camera just 45 minutes ago.
When it comes to a forest, there is a lot more going on than you can imagine. From unsettlingly huge entities to close encounters with unrecognizable beings. Here are some of the things that nobody would have believed if they had not been caught on camera. Juvenile Bigfoot. Ever since the inception of Bigfoot, this is probably the very first time that a juvenile Bigfoot may have been documented. In December 2021, a hiker posted this footage after sighting a being similar to that of a Bigfoot, only much smaller in size. It was found hiding up in a tree somewhere in a forest in Washington state. Upon both spotting each other, no one of them made any sudden moves, although they were stunned to see each other until the hikers slowly pulled away from the area. As the video reached social media, many speculated that this could be a juvenile Bigfoot, as it had resemblance to a Bigfoot, although smaller in size. Another Bigfoot. With years and years of rumors of their existence, they finally are getting caught in the spotlight. This is another Bigfoot that was caught on camera by two men passing through the Assiniboine Forest in Winnipeg, Canada, while vlogging. Unlike any other sightings, this one was much closer, as the driver and the Bigfoot were moving parallel, being only spitting distance away from each other. As the footage made its way to the internet, many started speculating that this could most likely be a grizzly bear or a baboon. But if you look closely, no bear walks on just two of its hind legs, while baboons are not solitary. Sasquatch spotted in Russia. This short clip of just 16 seconds includes the craziest moment no one could have ever seen. Recorded by an unknown source somewhere in Russia in 2011, this clip shows a closer look of the most discussed mythical beast. A huge hairy body and long arms, it really looked like a real Sasquatch. No more details could be stated about the creature, as the guy filming it seemed to be scared of the thing. Yet the perfect humanoid walk pointed toward the legendary Sasquatch, as it could be seen quickly walking through the woods after realizing,
and no one really knows who filmed it or why. Because of this, there's been a lot of guessing about what was happening when it was recorded. The creature stands out because of its bright orange color, which is unusual for any animal. It seems to be moving quickly, like it's either running away from something or maybe going towards something we can't see. At one point, it even stops to grab onto a small tree. People who've watched the video closely are split. Some say the way it moves with long swinging arms looks too strange to be real. Could it be a hoax or someone in a costume? Maybe. Others think its size and the way it runs suggests something more mysterious, fueling even more wild theories about what this creature could be. No one knows for sure, but this video definitely has more room for analysis.
Huge amounts of controversy.
Where is it?
He's coming on. He's there. He's gonna pop up in a minute. There he is. Popping up. Take the berries. Lots of berries.
He's
over here now.
Oh shit, he went too fast. I didn't catch him this time.
Truly weird video. Indeed, one main element which makes it seem real is the rapid speed it moves at the swinging of arms is also what caught a lot of people's attention. I don't know about you, but not many people would come across a human that maneuvers in this fashion. Some of the comments under the original video believe it's real, and others are total hoax. But be sure to comment down below your thoughts.
A professional wedding photographer in Litchfield County, Connecticut, captured this eerie footage using the video function on his DSLR camera. The YouTuber, Connecticut Bigfoot, shared the strange video, explaining that he had heard something near the trash cans and thought it was a bear, and so he stayed inside and recorded through a window. By the time they got the camera ready, whatever it was had already moved over to the road and into a nearby field. Little did they know, this potential Bigfoot sighting would gather nearly 200,000 views and stir up a lot of controversy. The figure is hard to see at first, hidden in the bushes, and then it suddenly moves, fast, really fast. It darts out of sight before they could catch it clearly on camera. The speed at which it moved and the way its long arms swung seemed extremely non-human. Many viewers said there was something about the way it moved that didn't seem human. It was too quick, too fluid, like nothing anyone had seen before. Whether it was real or not, what the hell did they really capture in that rural Connecticut field?
There's not much context provided, but the footage is so clear that it seems convincing. Which is why I had to include it in this video. From what we know, the video comes from a trail camera set up somewhere in the forest. His starts recording as a Bigfoot-like creature sits directly in front of the camera. The creature looks quite realistic, with its long, straggly hair and Neanderthal-like facial features. Its face has a human-like quality, but is too primate-like to be fully human. Interestingly, its movements are very human-like as well. The main debate centers around whether this is a real Bigfoot or just a person in a costume.
This is one of the clearest videos of what might be a Bigfoot. There's not much backstory, but the footage is so sharp, it's hard to ignore. A trail camera deep in the forest caught a Bigfoot-like creature sitting right in front of it. The creature looks real, with long, messy hair and a face that seems part human, part ape. Its movements are strangely human too. The big debate is whether this is an actual Bigfoot or just someone in a costume. Without more info, it's tough to say, but this is some of the best Bigfoot footage out there.
At the left side of the trail, you'll spot a shadowy, furry figure walking into the trees. It seems like Bigfoot decided to make a guest appearance right as the video was being recorded. Historically, these creatures were elusive and difficult to spot, often requiring considerable effort. Now, it seems that just being in the right forest or mountainous area at the right time might offer a rare glimpse. Or perhaps we're just encountering increasingly
Bigfoot or no? An outdoorsman by the name of Roger Williams captured a photo of a Sasquatch in broad daylight while hiking in the mountains of southwest Virginia back in 2013. The creature he saw was described as being over 8 feet tall, covered in matted brown fur. Even though the back of the creature was captured in the shot, the image still clearly shows a humanoid figure with long arms, broad shoulders, and a head that seems to be covered in fur. Was it really a Bigfoot, or just a bear wandering around? Either way, the odd photo was sent to the local papers immediately. The image instantly gained popularity among cryptozoologists and was compared to the well-known Jacobs photographs, which were taken in northwest Pennsylvania in 2007. Williams also told the Finding Bigfoot crew that one of his neighbors had heard unusual noises just a few miles from the location of the shot. Later, Williams himself acknowledged this when he first released the image, saying, "The mystery remains."
Who lives in the remote Siberian forest of Russia. His home, far from any neighbors and surrounded by thick woods, was used to the usual sounds of the wilderness. But for the past few nights, something strange had been happening. Low, creepy growls were coming from the trees near his house. Igor knew what the forest sounded like, but these growls were nothing like the usual animals. They were deeper, scarier, and unsettling. One night, the growls became even louder and more constant. Determined to figure out what was lurking in the dark, Igor grabbed his night vision camera and went out into the cold, pitch-black forest. What he captured on that night was terrifying. As he walked deeper into the shadows, the night vision on his camera flickered to life. And then, just beyond the trees, he saw something shocking. Igor called out to this creature, his voice breaking through the creepy silence, but the figure didn't move. It just stood there, staring at him from the darkness. Then, without a sound, it vanished back into the trees. At one point, the figure appeared again, sitting in the grass. It was watching Igor, its eyes fixed on him. It seemed to be able to see him clearly, like it didn't need night vision at all. As the figure started creeping closer, Igor's fear got the best of him. He turned and ran back to the safety of his home. Whatever he had encountered that night remains a mystery. Since then, no one has heard any updates. What do you think that was?
Number 7. Bigfoot running down a hillside. The footage supposedly captures a Bigfoot running down a steep California hillside. The video's origin remains shrouded in mystery, leaving room for wide-ranging speculation about the circumstances surrounding its capture. The creature depicted stands out for its striking orange hue and appears to be in motion, possibly fleeing from or advancing towards an unseen force, briefly pausing to grab hold of a sapling. Critics have scrutinized the creature's nimble movements, noting its limited use of its notably long arms, which has fueled skepticism about the authenticity of the footage. Additionally, the creature's size has sparked a range of theories and interpretations.
This tucked away in northeastern Europe. A man was taking a leisurely stroll through a remote forest when something or someone caught his eye. But this was no ordinary animal. It was creature, cloaked in thick fur, walked upright like a human. But the moment it realized it was being watched, it bolted. In seconds, it was across an empty highway, disappearing into the trees. The highway felt weirdly abandoned, as if it hadn't seen traffic in years. This creature moved eerily. It was unsettling to say the least for the person recording.
Oh, come on inside! Carly!
Released to the public. Hunters had set up a trail camera to see what wildlife roamed the area. But that night, at exactly 10:26 p.m., the camera caught something unexpected. First, an armed police officer walks by, but just 3 minutes later, the camera catches something even more chilling. A huge, dark, hairy creature appears, walking slowly through the frame. It's tall, at least 8 feet, and very wide. No one knows exactly where the footage was taken or why the officer was out there in the woods. It remains a mystery.
He has a hard time getting his camera to focus at first. But it finally focuses and we get extremely clear footage of this creature's face. It's gorilla-like, but human-like at the same time. The video is so clear that we can make out every single detail of its face. From its defined forehead wrinkles and skin to its blinking eyes and huge nose.
A well-known explorer and Bigfoot researcher went deep into the woods, carrying his camera. He was in a spot famous for strange Bigfoot sightings. After searching for a while, something in the thick brush caught his attention. At first, his camera wouldn't focus, but finally it zoomed in on something unbelievable. The creature's face was clear, and it looked both like a gorilla and a human. Its eyes blinked, and you could see every wrinkle on its forehead and its giant nose. This creature didn't look like any gorilla, and the researcher was actually pretty sure it was the real Bigfoot.
Now, not much is known about this one. The only thing we really know is that a person was out in the forest when suddenly they spotted a huge Bigfoot-like creature.
What we know is that someone was out in the forest when they suddenly saw a huge Bigfoot-like creature. They quickly ran and hid while the creature walked past. The video shows an unnaturally tall Sasquatch, and because it's so close, you can see everything. Its lighter face, dark eyes, big brow ridge, and even its nose and black beard. It's everything you'd expect from Bigfoot, but again, we can't be sure.
From a research area. Around 9:30 p.m. that night, the researcher was panning across the trees when he noticed a pair of glowing eyes by the bear.
I'm gonna keep dunking down for it, damn it. You don't like that light, whatever the hell it is.
Following this extended game of hide and seek, Dodson charges the subject against his better judgment.
Damn, I wish I'd put the battery in that damn...
Bigfoot spotted. Near the pond, casually strolling in the woods, and here, assumably chasing a man and showing its really bizarre features. These pictures were giving nightmares to the people of Mississippi. But there was more to come, because soon after the pictures were captured, a strange figure was recorded among the trees. With its back turned toward the camera, though the creature was not visible from the distance, its dark black hair and the giant figure was enough to identify it. Realizing that it had been caught, it stood still, not moving at all, signaling the man to back off. So, yeah, he ran. Skinwalker. Living next to the graveyard, a man hearing creepy voices almost every night decided to set up a trail camera there to know what goes on in the abandoned place. And as expected, in the middle of the night, a strange creature appeared on the camera. Walking on its stiff, long legs, the weird, alien-headed creature strolled around the cemetery for quite some time, and then disappeared. While many people called it a hoax, the Skinwalker appeared several times to convince people of its existence. But what could it really be? Let me know your views on it. Demon versus deer. Totally forgetting animals, we often assume that humans are the only ones endangered by unearthly creatures. But this picture is proof that nothing is safe from these beasts, as it shows a weird creature with wings and devil horns chasing a deer in the darkest hours of night, and the poor animal, not knowing what to do, anxiously runs to avoid being caught. While the picture leaves many unanswered questions, the video shows that there is nothing exaggerated in it, as right behind a tree, there it is, the same devilish being with bright, bulging eyes, probably planning its next attack. Unusually tall monkey. At first, this may seem like your average type of monkey, until you see it in person. Eyewitnesses reported seeing a monkey as tall as 12 feet to be strolling past the trees in Michigan's Green area. Apart from it having such a height, this chimpanzee moves using only 2 of its hind legs, just as if it were human. Although it is known to remain solo and has never shown any aggressive or predatory behavior before, authorities have advised residents and curious visitors to avoid visiting any of its pathways. After all, no one would certainly want to see what it's like being pissed. Beast. A man suffering from Bigfoot fever while exploring a thick forest to capture the latest sightings of this mythical creature was petrified to hear a loud, terrifying scream. Apparently, no one was seen anywhere, so he decided to check for the animal. And instead of spotting the animal, he was welcomed by a huge, black figure, which was already waiting for him behind the dense woods. Filled with fear, he started running. As if spotting the giant dark figure wasn't that scary, the actual terror began when the great Bigfoot, rather than hiding or running away, started chasing its hunter. Fortunately, the man managed to escape, and the chasing beast vanished behind one of the bushes. Road crossing ghost. Even famous for being haunted, 2 friends decided to visit the eerie jungle anyway. Well, one who seeks it will be the one who finds it. And there it was, a weird translucent figure appearing right in front of them and crossing the road so swiftly that they thought they were imagining it. But then, not wanting to be forgotten, the weird creatures appeared again from the other side of the road. And this time, its humanoid body was quite visible.
A giant. It looks like a giant with a sharp weapon or something in his hand, walking as if it's finding prey to kill and eat. But wait, giants aren't real, right? Or maybe they are. Maybe we just don't know much about them. With so many weird things happening, anything can be possible. A weird deer. Well, a man was busy recording a deer who appeared to be scared of him at first, but then suddenly stopped, as if it was scared of something, and then turned back and went hopping away beside the man. He was all confused, just like anyone would be. But then he saw something that scared him too. A deer emerged from the bushes with a deformed neck. Or was it a skinwalker? Because that's what most people said.
Bigfoot near shelter. After finding a mysterious shelter made from limbs and branches near Crescent Falls, Alberta, Canada, a place that already had a spooky reputation as it provides shelter to a large, upright beast, which was also known to feed on the rotting flesh of huge mammals. A man decided to install a trail camera on a nearby tree to collect some pieces of evidence. After retrieving the footage, he was shocked to find a large, hairy creature roaming behind the shelter at night. Even it was also seen wandering through the woods in broad daylight. Although many declare this footage to be fake, the owner of the video claimed that it was actually a Bigfoot that was spotted lurking near its shed. Spying beast.
Give me the camera.
This strong yet horrific piece of evidence was recorded in Idaho's wilderness, when a couple of hunters were out to put their hands on beautiful antlered bucks. But instead of large bucks, another beast was waiting for them while camouflaging among thick trees. Noticing some weird eyes spying on them, they decided to investigate. And here it was. Hiding its huge body behind the woods was a black, hairy monster, which was staring at them for a very long time. A big bear? But if it was, then why would a bear, instead of chasing them, try to hide? So, could that be a Bigfoot? What do you guys think? White Yeti-faced entity. In the manner that it chose to run away, it's almost as if its elders had forbidden it any human contact. A local resident, while passing on the outskirts of Carbondale, Pennsylvania, heard strange sounds emerging from the trees by the side of the road, which he decided to search to find its source. Several minutes into the search, he noticed the face of a white yeti as it was caught by the beam of a flashlight. At this moment, this white yeti immediately started running away, and within seconds, it managed to disappear into the forest. Dark forest figure. Instances such as this display how dangerously skilled these figures are in hiding from everyone that passes by. While casually flying a drone somewhere deep in the Salt Fork Park in Ohio, the camera was able to spot a dark figure hiding in the thickets of the trees. It looks to have dark skin, or perhaps a piece of clothing that looks to be exceptionally tall. The mysterious figure can be seen standing idly by, with its posture towards the drone, almost as if it's waiting for the drone to pass away. The drone pilot didn't notice the unusual sighting until reviewing the footage. Unknown animal in tree. Although this may have the closest resemblance to that of an animal, it certainly does not behave or structurally look to be one. A family, while passing through the streets of Acapulco, Mexico, bumped into this unrecognizable animal. According to one of the family members, this animal struck their car after appearing suddenly from the trees, and then it attempted to hide in a bush over a higher ground. As they followed it to investigate, they managed to start recording the incident, showing moments when this unknown animal that was hiding in the bushes stepped out into the open to completely escape in the trees while using the dark to its advantage.
In the woods. It was a trail they knew well, one they'd walked many times without anything strange or scary happening. But this day would be very different. As they enjoyed the quiet of the forest, they suddenly noticed something huge in the bushes, just off the path. A giant, hairy creature. The mother, startled and scared, urgently called for her daughter to get inside. Even though she was terrified, she managed to capture a clear video of the creature as it turned and ran away. The creature was covered in brown fur except for its face and hands, which were bare. Its face was particularly frightening. It seems the creature was about 8 feet tall with massive shoulders, too big and too strange to be human. Many people think it might be a movie prop, but why would it be wandering in the woods?
I've never seen anything like it in my life. This is the second time I've come over here. And the first time when I got up under them trying to figure out what it was, they started breaking limbs off and throwing them at me. And I still cannot figure out what it is. Look, they're ruining this freaking place. What in God's name is it? It's bigger than me, whatever it is. Because it's breaking limbs off that it would take me 2 minutes to saw. Look, see, he's coming right above me right here. He's fixing to throw something at me, whatever it is. Yeah, they don't like you messing with them. Look. What in God's name is going on? Look. That's bigger than me. Look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. What in Jesus' name is doing this? Oh my God, he just took half the tree down. Something, oh my God, oh my God. Oh, it's gotta be a, I don't even think a bear would have a chance in Hades and it doing this. It's something stronger than a bear. And he is pissed. Yeah, that's a healthy tree, about 8 to 10, maybe even 12 inches in diameter, that he just broke because he's pissed because I'm getting close to him. I think I'm gonna bounce because I think he just hit the ground, which means he's about to.
This creepy video popped up online, shared by a man from South Carolina, USA. It starts with strange noises coming from his backyard, which made him go check it out. What he found was shocking, and he caught it all on camera. To break the huge tree branches the way he saw, it would take the strength of something as strong as a gorilla or a chimpanzee. Only, this was no ordinary primate. As the man got closer, you could hear what sounded like gorillas fighting in the trees, snapping off massive limbs. In disbelief, he kept recording, saying he'd never seen anything like it in his life. The branches were breaking left and right, and whatever was doing it wasn't happy about being watched. This thing was angry and big, really big. The creature was tearing apart the trees, breaking branches that would take the man minutes to even move. And then, suddenly, something huge started moving right above him. The man realized this thing was coming closer, getting ready to throw something at him again. Panicking, he watched as the creature tore half of a healthy tree down like it was nothing. It was so powerful, he couldn't believe it. At that moment, the man knew he had to get out of there. And so that is exactly what he did. You shouldn't mess with things that can snap trees in half.
Shadowy figure just beyond the tree line. Igor called out, his voice breaking the eerie silence, but the creature didn't respond. Instead, it stood there, watching him from the darkness before retreating back into the trees.
Kenny, the adventurous soul behind Kenny of All Trades, shares his passion for traveling and exploration on his YouTube channel, filming every step of his journey in his trusty camper truck. In this clip, Kenny embarks on a camping adventure in Foothills State Forest, Minnesota, a trip that took an unexpected turn into the eerie and unsettling. It's September 14th, 2024. Kenny, accompanied by his dog, Toby, sets off into the forest, eager to find the perfect spot for the night. He discovers a quiet little field and begins setting up camp, unaware of the unsettling events waiting for him as night falls.
Let's check this out, Toby. We got a fire pit. What else do you need for a night of camping? This is gonna work perfect for a single night. I don't have any cell phone service, so I'll text Mandy my GPS coordinates off the Garmin InReach. We got this thing all to ourselves. What do you think, Toby? Yeah. We said we were looking for an epic one-nighter. I think we got a great start. We found a perfect campsite, went for a nice walk in the woods, and now we got this fire. I'm saying this is pretty good, eh, buddy?
The evening begins peacefully, with everything calm and quiet. As night falls, he prepares some dinner and relaxes by the campfire, enjoying the solitude of the forest, still blissfully unaware of what lies ahead.
We'll check him in a couple. The woods is really loud tonight. I got stuff going on all around me. I'm hearing crashes in the woods over here and crashes over there, and it's probably just something as simple as leaves falling, but in dead silence, everything sounds so much louder. I do got the flashlight out here though, just in case. As I was walking down the steps, my stomach started growling, and it sounded like a person talking for a second. I didn't realize it was my stomach. Oh, it scared the daylights out of me. I'm telling you what, there is just noises all over. Maybe we should go for a little walk.
With the woods now cloaked in darkness, eerie noises start to echo around him. Kenny tries to stay calm, brushing off the sounds as falling leaves or branches snapping, but a sense of unease lingers. Wanting reassurance that he's truly alone, he decides to take a walk around the campsite, leaving his dog, Toby, safely resting in the camper.
I think we'll just go down the road a little ways. I thought I just saw a flash. Man, all kinds of noises. That flash could have been a reflector or something. There's definitely some noise in this woods. We made it back home. Well, I think I'm just going to sit around the fire for the next 45 minutes and go to bed. I'll see you in the morning.
Finding nothing definitive, Kenny returns to his camper, ready to call it a night. But just as he's about to settle in, a loud thump hits his camper. Rattled, he looks outside, but sees nothing. Just the forest, cloaked in darkness, and the relentless sounds echoing from within.
You hear that? I know this is gonna sound crazy, but I'm laying in bed and it sounds like something is being thrown at the camper. It must be acorns dropping. It's like 3 a.m. I gotta go to bed. See what I'm talking about?
Deciding to lock his doors and stay inside, Kenny lies awake, listening to the eerie symphony outside and waiting for the safety of daylight. When the first rays of the morning finally pierce the trees, the forest calms again, but the unsettling memories of that night remain with him long after. William made it through the night unscathed, though with more questions than answers. But perhaps it's better not knowing what might have been lurking in the dark woods around him. But for now, let's dive into the next creepy camping encounter.
Alien in Graveyard. Footage was uploaded by some unknown guy in 2017, and it had everyone in shock who happened to watch it. At first, we see the quiet of a cemetery, but then as the camera rolls on, we catch a glimpse of a bizarre humanoid figure half hiding behind a grave. If we zoom into it, we see a weird being with a huge head and arms. It fits so accurately to what we have in mind for an alien, don't you think? A haunted tunnel. This might be too short of a clip, but a mere second is enough to feel the spookiness of the video. We see a creepy figure emerging from the dark and running straight towards the man holding the camera. And then we see the man running as fast as he can for his life. I'm not going near any tunnels from now on. rake. The kid was out in the woods when he started hearing some weird noises, and that's when he decided to take his phone out and film it while trying to see what was causing it. And to his surprise, it wasn't just him who was looking for the creature. The creature was also looking for him, and that we get to know when he comes out of the woods and starts running towards the kid. A creepy girl. Back in 2013, there was this video that spread like wildfire online. It showed a lone girl dressed in white walking around a cemetery while some men recorded her. The video lasted about 4 minutes, and the girl was shown wandering around the graveyard, stopping by different graves. Who was she? Did she happen to be a ghost? These and countless other questions were thrown around, but no one had any answers to offer. A crawling thing. In this video, we see a courageous person exploring an empty house using only a flashlight. While exploring, the person begins to feel uneasy, and then a frightening creature appears from the darkness, moving towards them and making terrifying sounds. The person quickly runs away from the house, clearly scared by the unknown creature. Although we don't know what the creature was, it's obvious that the abandoned house is not a suitable place for those who are easily frightened. A deer. At first, we see a deer all panicking, running from here to there, and eventually running away from the man. And in a second emerges another deer unlike any other, with its neck all folded. And then it runs away too, as fast as it could. All this happens in a few seconds, and the man there is like, what just happened? Even though it was just 2 deer, that does not make the video any less creepy. A weird body. In May 2019, a woman found a weird body laying in her yard in Florida. She immediately called the authorities to come and see what it was, and needless to say, they were all just as perplexed as she was. According to some, it was a big lizard. But what exactly caused the big lizard to dry up like that? Not even the bones were there.
Hairy beast attacked. This horrific footage shows a pair of hunters attacked by a huge beast while they were trying to chase him at midnight in its dark habitat. After disappearing at first, it managed to attack one of them from behind. Then, after a while, when the other one went out to search for his lost friend, the unknown beast made an appearance again. Yet this time, it pounced at that person from the front and walked away. Although this one was the most deadly encounter, both of the guys survived. The footage, since being shared online, has left everyone puzzled. But if we take a closer look, the terrifying creatures and humanoid walk point toward the mythical hairy beast that was definitely disturbed by the uninvited visitors. Creepy crawler. Strolling in the field in the daytime while exploring the woods at midnight, the strange, creepy, dark figure has created a buzz through the internet, as its face is not visible in any of these 2 pieces of footage. However, after a few days, another video was posted in which a shadowy creature that almost looked like that dark figure was seen invading a backyard. This time, its frightening features were also captured clearly through the camera. People believe that the creepy crawler shown in the different footage was the same. However, its exact identification is still a mystery. If any of you know more about it, please let us know by commenting below. Werewolf encounter. It's a common myth that werewolves mostly come out during a full moon, but 3 years back in Brazil, a man had claimed to have had a close encounter with a werewolf on a pitch-black night. The horrific beast was seen hiding behind a wooden structure after it emerged from the dark forest. Yet after realizing it was being watched by someone, it quickly jumped out and made an attempt to attack the guy filming it. But luckily, the guy managed to escape, and all he could get was just a glimpse of that werewolf that was trying to invade his only backyard. Beast of Dark. With certain evidence of their existence, another werewolf surfaced through social media when it made an attempt to attack a lady. The lady was searching for her lost dog in a forest, when suddenly she saw a scary, wolf-like creature that emerged from the dark while walking on its 2 legs. Despite using a flashlight, she could only see the frightening features of the beast, but that according to her, it was nothing else than a wolfman. But I'm not sure if it was actually a wolfman or not, as the footage shows just a glimpse of it. So what's your opinion, guys? Bear inspecting trail cam. Do you still believe that it's only the mythical creatures that come out at night to investigate? Because next, we have very strange footage that shows someone with thick, hairy limbs trying to take charge of a trail camera. After using its giant hands to unfasten the camera, the huge, curious bear tried to grab the camera with its mouth. In most cases, a bear's strong jaws can smash down the camera completely. But as this video suddenly ended, I'm not sure what might have happened to the camera. Can any of you tell me further? Hidden striker. Trail cams have always captured the attention of wild critters. This time, a trail cam installed somewhere in Japan became the victim of a hidden striker. Moving the camera from left to right, the unknown beast was trying every possible effort to take the camera off the tree while standing at the back. Well, when striking from behind didn't work, the hidden animal appeared on the front and turned out to be a wild boar that was still trying to remove the mysterious device from the tree. Cougar attack. This time, not a trail cam, but an innocent critter became a victim of a wild predator that was ambushing it from behind. A trail camera installed at an unknown location shows a deer grazing at midnight without any idea of being stalked by its death, as hiding behind the bushes was a ferocious predator who, after setting a target, jumped into the air and directly landed on the jugular vein of the deer. Both the prey and predator fall into the nearby bushes. As we could see the deer becoming lifeless under the powerful jaws of the cougar, all we could feel is the terrifying silence of the death. Midnight attacker. Last year in March, a man installed a trail cam somewhere in the Canadian wilderness to learn more about forest habitats. However, an animal made a dramatic entrance from behind while trying to pull off the trail camera from the tree. And here it is. After watching the antlers, I am sure there's a curious buck who got attracted toward the night flash of trail cam, or it might be trying just to rub its antlers. Now, check out this buck that apparently looked aggressive while stroking its huge antlers in the muddy swamp. However, after doing that, it could be seen sitting calmly in the sticky swamp. This strange behavior made me think if it was actually trying to rub its antlers, or if it was just an attempt to mark its territory. What do you guys say about it?
A giant anaconda. Remember when this clip went viral on the internet some time ago? Some people saw this gigantic anaconda trying to cross a road in the middle of the afternoon. To show just how bold and fearless this anaconda is, many humans were present, and it didn't even faze the animal one bit. The humans got down from their cars and began to stop the approaching vehicles in order to let this reptilian visitor slither wherever it wanted to. The incident happened in Brazil in 2019, and this snake is definitely not something someone gets to see on a daily basis. Imagine coming back from the office one evening and seeing a huge 4-meter-long anaconda that weighs around 66 pounds trying to cross the road. Surely you would make a run for it. Pretty sure no one is ready to put their life on the line like that. Well, except if the person is crazy, of course. Suicidal fish. What this guy filmed is something you might not want to believe if it wasn't captured on a camera. After seeing this fish about to die, this man came up to it and decided to help it out. But this fish kept returning back to where the dry land was. It definitely did not want to stay too long in the water.
Come here. Good boy.
Who knows? Maybe it was depressed and wanted to end its life. Or perhaps it just loved this human so much that leaving him was not something the fish was very willing to do. Either way, this is very strange behavior from the water creature. Normally, fish would grab the first opportunity to run away from humans. Speedy turtle. For a long time, we have all thought that turtles and tortoises were contenders for the slowest creatures on Earth. Remember all those stories about the tortoise and the hare? Well, it turns out that not only are turtles slow and steady, but they have also learned how to be super fast. Not only is this turtle fast, we think this one could easily win the title for the fastest turtle on Earth. This man found this huge turtle on his way back from work. He wasn't really sure what it was doing out of the water. So when he got closer to it, he found out that this creature was way faster than it looks. This quick turtle made a sudden dash for a nearby pond and was never seen again. The elephant who didn't die. Welcome to the jungle, where crazy things happen on a daily basis. This elephant was shot straight in the head and was bleeding out of the wound, yet it remained standing. In fact, this huge animal approached some nearby humans in a very cautious manner and showed them the bullet in his skull because, obviously, elephants don't know how to treat bullet wounds. This elephant survived being shot in the head, likely by a poacher. Rescuers estimate he walked around for weeks in Zimbabwe with a gunshot wound until he was rescued. The doctors got to work immediately. The elephant was set up for an emergency surgery, and they did all they could to remove the bullet from the skull and treat the wound for an infection. Hopefully the elephant is somewhere out in the wild today and doing good.
Bigfoot tossing tree. How could this Bigfoot be able to toss a tree like that? Taking a stroll in the woods, things took a terrifying turn when the man spotted a Bigfoot sitting on the trail. Well, it was not only sitting, but the hairy figure was actually preparing to launch a tree in the air. And here it goes. Terrified of the giant animal, though the man could not record it any further, experts, while analyzing the footage, explained that the tree was no less than 3 meters long, and the creature throwing it in the air was no doubt a superhuman, as no ordinary man would be able to make such a big throw with only a slight movement in his arm. And even if it's not a Bigfoot, this has to be a supernatural being that was caught on camera. Georgian Bigfoot. Scared, but still chasing the massive beast, this man is determined to get even a glimpse of the alleged Bigfoot. Vacationing on the Blue Ridge in Georgia and taking a stroll on the trail in daytime, this man heard a large growl coming from the dense forest. Recording the entire time, the man luckily captured the Bigfoot walking among the woods. Running towards the Bigfoot's direction, the man can be heard forcing his fellows to go back inside, as who knows whether the giant animal might attack them. And because the video ends abruptly, what happens next could not be known. Mountain lion versus elks. There is only one end to anything that stands against the mountain lion, which is, well, you're about to know what it is. While grazing on the lush green pastures, these elks had no idea that a predator was slowly moving towards them. And then they all realized that they were in danger. But it was too late to run, as the predator could ambush from anywhere, and they clearly don't have any idea where it was hiding. So they wait till the cougar makes the first move. And here it comes, pouncing straight at the elks from the far right corner. Not capturing the entire attack on camera, the owner revealed that he did find a calf's carcass a few meters away from the site. Bear attacks wolf's den. Though it might be a little disturbing for some of the viewers, that's just how the animals survive in the wild. A man, while setting up his camera, spotted a red fox earth. Taking a look inside, he found wolf cubs staying there in a den. And then the trail camera recorded a bear digging the den to get to the wolf pups. Destroying it speedily, the bear could be seen looking inside for the pups. And just when the bear leaves, the wolf parents could be seen coming back. Terrified of the invader, even after spotting the bear digging the burrow, they did not try to go near it. But, worried for their pups, the wolves came back there again at night, and probably found their dead or half-eaten babies and left. Sasquatch Shadow. At one moment it's here, and the second it's gone. What could be this flashing creature caught on camera? With many people believing that it was a mountain lion or probably a bear that was caught on camera, when the video reached the investigators, they revealed that it was no bear or cougar, but actually a baby Sasquatch that was caught, as the super speed and the plausible head appearing on the camera shows that it was a bipedal animal caught on camera. Another similar creature was also caught on the camera, probably digging something off the forest's land. It seemed to have legs and arms just like a supposed Bigfoot. So, was it really a Bigfoot, or do you have any better explanation for the clip? Pilot captures UFOs. You can see the flashing lights in the clouds in this video. The pilot said that the flying UFOs seen over the Pacific Ocean resemble the blinking lights in the footage that was taken. What are your thoughts on this video? Do you believe that there are UFOs and that they are currently flying above our Pacific Ocean? Don't forget to leave us a comment below with your thoughts about it. Missy Bevers' murder. Missy Bevers, a fitness instructor, was found fatally killed on April 18, 2016, at a dance studio of a church in Midlothian, Texas. Her killer has yet to be found, even though police believe the killer was already inside the building, possibly carrying out a burglary. CCTV footage of the assailant shows a figure stalking the hallways dressed in full SWAT gear. However, the cops are still unsure if the gear was genuine. Despite thousands of tips to the authorities, Missy's killer has yet to be found. Do you think any of these will ever be explained? Colossal bear breaking into the house. According to the security camera footage, a massive black bear came inside the home where a teenager was sound asleep on the couch. The boy woke up and found himself at a loss for words as he saw the beast making its way to the kitchen and opening the fridge to steal food. You can see in this clip that the bear is busy finding stuff in the kitchen. Seems to me like he was quite hungry. Hunting kestrel. Look at how steady his head is in this video. It's quite stunning. This kestrel is one of their excellent hunters, able to linger in the air for long stretches of time while looking for prey. They typically eat insects, small animals, and birds. The kestrel is renowned for its unique hunting technique, which involves hovering above its prey before quickly diving down to make the kill. They are omnipresent predators, with the exception of Antarctica and a few oceanic islands. They enjoy exploring wide environments like grasslands, deserts, and savannas, and they belong to the falcon family and are frequently employed in falconry. A fun fact about them is that once they meet a companion, they stay paired together forever. Wolverine spotted. A wolverine is seen on camera in Oregon as it descends a mountain and crosses a road. Wolverines are listed as threatened, but 2 more sightings in Oregon happened last month. The first confirmed sightings beyond the Wallowa Mountains wolverine's home in more than 30 years. Here is the encounter between a wolverine and 2 ravenous wolves. Now I know I say this all the time, but these wolves are huge. Just look at him next to them, which are also enormous and in good health. He does a fantastic job of keeping the wolves from getting close to him, and he eventually succeeds in moving on and living another day. Weird, human-looking creature. This disturbing photo, which was taken on November 30th, 2010 at 1:44 a.m., appears to depict a man racing through the woods with only his boxer shorts on. Little else is known about the photo other than that it was taken in Florida. Is this a picture of a man having a psychotic episode, an escape from a mental institution, or just a typical Florida jogger? The dark figure. Taken on October 15th, 2010 at 2:45 a.m., we first notice a creature's arm wrapped around a tree. The arm appears to be rather little in relation to the tall figure as we enlarge the image. It seems to be a part of this creature and bears no relation to any other members of the animal family. Could this be a camera trick, another scam, or the real deal? A weird female creature. I've recently noticed the video below appearing on social media and other websites. However, we have never heard a convincing description of what it is. Where this occurred and other specifics have not been made available. What we observe firsthand is an odd extraterrestrial thing that is awkwardly crawling towards us on a gravel road. The shape, which appears to be more feminine and is covered in skin that is grayish-brown, is not the most bizarre aspect. Its hands and fingers appear to be disproportionately big and pointed in an alien way. Its head has an odd shape and initially reminds one of this prop from the Alien movie. Is this subject of this clip a ruse, an elaborate prop, or something more sinister? If anyone happens to know, kindly leave a comment below with as much information as you can. Creepy humanoid. You will definitely have nightmares after seeing this video. A clip of a strange and unsettling person has been uploaded online. Could this be the fabled cryptid known as La Mona? The video was obtained from a home security camera in Costa Rica. According to legend, La Mona is a witch who hunts victims at night while walking on all fours. She casts charms and scratches everybody she comes into contact with, bringing about eternal misery. The unidentified creature caught on camera crawled across the road on all fours, with its legs twisted like a crab. Even the neighborhood dogs are barking, as though the person is a menace, since it is so eerie and ominous. Although the figure draws nearer to the camera, it is still unclear. As for what it is, some have even said that it is simply a mutated dog, but other critics have more sinister theories. While some have speculated that this is an alien, others are adamant that it is a ghoul. A ghoul is essentially a hideous humanoid or demon-like creature that has its roots in the pre-Islamic Arabian religion. The term ghoul is typically used in contemporary fiction to refer to a specific type of undead humanoid creature that eats human flesh. Sounds pretty awful, no? But let's not forget that such creatures do exist, and the advanced technology has made it even easier to catch evidence about such creepy, scary, and freaky creatures. Well, the journey of this creepy, freaky, and scary adventure has come to an end. But don't you worry, we'll be back with some more fun and cool videos that are gonna make you even more excited. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel to support us. Thanks for watching. The glowing figure. After it's over, dog chased a hairy beast. Planning to capture some moments of wild animals, a man set up a camera with his dog's collar and made him visit the lush habitat of wild critters. While strolling in the middle of the dense trail, the dog accidentally captured a large biped that emerged from one side and passed right in front of the camera. Looking at just a glimpse of that huge creature, many claimed it to be a bear, but mostly, bears don't hide, they attack. Also, after taking a closer look, the dark features resemble the mythical Bigfoot. So, could it be the Bigfoot or any other hairy beast wandering there? Any guesses? Bigfoot on a snowy trail. Usually lurking behind the dense trees, this time a Bigfoot decided to arrive on a snowy trail. While filming a bike ride in the west of Colorado, a young rider noticed a massive hairy beast standing on the cliff just off the trail, which started moving after realizing it was being watched. The guy took no second to recognize it as a Bigfoot and tried to get some more footage, but the huge hairy beast swiftly walked into the tree lines and disappeared into the thick trunks. However, after the footage of this rare creature was shared online, many people claimed it to be fake, which was also confessed by the guy who later confirmed that the video was just made for fun. Large ape-like beast. A craving to grab the slightest clue of a Bigfoot existence took two young explorers to the quiet Adirondack Mountains of New York, which already have many mysterious tales to tell. Filmed in 2011, the young Bigfoot fans were shocked to their core after discovering a large, hairy monster crossing a small mountain right in front of their eyes. First, they suspected it to be a huge bear, but it was uncommon for those animals to live there or to walk perfectly on two legs. However, while reviewing the footage and taking a closer look, they were convinced to have captured the sight of a large ape-like beast. But they are waiting to get some more clues before claiming it as an alleged Bigfoot sighting.
Wolffish. This voracious predator with a large head, powerful jaws, and large canine teeth is not something you will ever want to mess with. They look like something straight out of a scary ocean movie. Who said monsters don't exist? If you're wondering just how sharp their teeth are, this clip where it bites a crab will show you exactly how sharp they are. These crazy fish are super deadly and are ready to bite almost anything they come into contact with. Turtle with exposed heart. Lastly, we have this tiny turtle that was born with an exposed heart. The experts said it wouldn't live long, but the owner knew he had to do everything he could to save its life. The heart can actually be seen beating from under the turtle. This condition made her more vulnerable and sensitive. It was 3 inches wide when the guy got it, and now she's getting bigger and healthier with time. This is all thanks to her caring dad's efforts and endless devotion. A tiny turtle named Hope has become a social media influencer. She has over 235,000 followers on Instagram. The albino pink-bellied turtle was born with a rare condition that doesn't even have a name. Hope's heart is located outside her shell, exposed. Her heart is visible through a small hole in her stomach and can be seen beating as she moves around her tank. Fortunately, it has not impacted the turtle's health. Hope's owner, Michael Aquilina, told In the Know that his pet is healthy. Aquilina, 31, makes sure to regularly update his large Instagram following on Hope's health. His Instagram page, AquaMike23, contains many photos showcasing Hope and her extraordinary condition. Aquilina told Cater's News that Hope has offered him a great deal of emotional support for the turtle since she came into his life in late 2018. Aquilina had wanted Hope to inspire others too, and the turtle has indeed lived up to her name as she grew into a healthy adult despite her condition. What do you think of some of these crazy clips? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Till next time!
A land of ancient civilization, Egypt holds in it the most bizarre, terrifying, and peculiar creatures. Some are remains of the dead, others still out there trying to scare humans with their frightening features. Sit tight to see these mind-boggling things caught on camera. Tied mummy. An ancient criminal? Or proof of classic cruelty from our ancestors' time? Well, in truth, it's none of these. Found in a 1.8 meter deep pit, the body of a man believed to be in his mid-age was strangely tied and was buried 1,800 years ago in this burial chamber. But with his hand covering the face and whole body being tied with ropes, the mummy is not a victim, but actually it was a part of their custom that was practiced around hundreds of years ago. Yes, researchers believe that the whole binding process may have been some kind of ritual, practiced to preserve the bodies forever. Croc mummies. Either dead or alive, crocs will always scare humans to their cores. While digging the ancient tombs, the research workers found 12 crocs buried in the soil. Looking alive from afar, it felt like they might open their jaws at any moment, because their textured skin still looked fresh and the teeth were still intact within the jaws. The researchers were stunned when they got to know that the crocodiles had been buried 2,500 years prior, because how could something this old be in almost its original condition? Well, actually, they were preserved with a particular method which excluded wrappings and resin, which helped them keep their original condition. Abandoned alien. Strolling in the desert is an alien creature. Though it has a humanoid body with its extremely long limbs, thin skin, and the way it is walking with a stooped posture, it sure gives some eerie vibes to the onlookers. Because of the blurry video, some say that it is a chupacabra walking in the deserts and planning an attack on the livestock. A majority of the people believe that because it is found in a deserted area, it could be a mummy that decided to come alive after spending centuries in the coffin. Because how else could anyone explain the slim body of the weirdo walking in the middle of the day? Deserted whales. While we believe that fish and deserts are two parallel things, researchers in Egypt found whale carcasses right in the desert lands, and not just one or two. The desert was filled with bones, skulls, and huge carcasses of whales. In fact, these bones were so abundant in the land that it was given the name of Whale Valley. While folks were baffled, how could it be possible? According to investigators, it may be possible that in ancient ages, it was a result of a mass beaching, in which the whales and dolphins willingly strand themselves on land and die. And when the ocean moved further away, they may have been buried in the sand. Ancient skeleton. Not even a meter long, the tiniest skeleton to ever be found continues to shock researchers with its mind-blowing feature. At first, they were stunned to see that such a tiny creature existed in old times. Secondly, they determined it was not a creature, but a tiny human. Yes, it's true. This skeleton named Atta is actually a human, but with multiple bone-related mutations. The long skull and slanted eyes did not indicate a single mutation, but Atta was born with plenty of them present in his genes. Some in the bones, others in the ribs, and others in joints, which is the reason behind his teeny tiny size and lesser ribs. Only 10, where normally there are 12. Mysterious statue. Standing in an Egyptian museum is this eerie statue, containing a perfectly carved body with its eyes resembling a human and always observing the people. The statue, being 4,500 years old and being held in the Museum of Cairo, is considered a wonder of ancient art. The statue has a perfectly plastered and painted outermost layer, but the most striking feature of the statue is no doubt its eyes. Made with sycamore wood, the fact that they are still present in almost their original form is quite impressive, as the researchers are trying to figure out the secret ingredient used to keep it so long-lasting. Bursting pool. Right in the middle of the desert, there's lava popping out, and it looks like it's about to explode on the onlookers' faces. But what is it? This question has been baffling people for so long. Some said it was the pit of the Sarlacc, a beast believed to be living beneath the desert sands. The others called it a desert monster coming out of its hiding place. But in reality, it's actually neither of these, as it was a small reserve of oil found in the middle of Egypt's desert, and due to extreme heat, the oil looked like it was about to burst out of the small hole. Sleeping girl. Looking like a sleeping child, the girl shocked the archaeologists when it was caught, because it felt like the girl would open its eyes at any moment. But actually, she had been dead for about 1,200 years, and was perfectly preserved, which muddled the researcher too. But her history is even more baffling. The girl was a teenager when she was sacrificed as a common religious practice of that time. Found in her hair were the signs of consuming alcohol and cocoa, which were given to her as a way to persuade her for the sacrifice, which actually means that she was drugged before the ritual took place. Concealed toads. Preserving the least expected things. The old customs are nothing but a mystery for the present world. Just like this, when a man, while digging an ancient tomb, unearthed a jar. While the other jars used to be filled with the organs of humans that died hundreds of years ago, this one was filled with 8 mummified toads. Yeah, toads, about 4,000 years old. And when they investigated them even further, the archaeologists were shocked to see that all 8 toads were decapitated before being preserved in the jar. But nobody knows what the purpose of preserving toads was. Were they considered holy in the past world? Or is there some mystery in it we cannot ever unveil? Preserved victim. While preservation of the old elite people is something we're used to, a preserved murder victim was something new even for the archaeologists. Not manually buried, but being dumped in a peat bog, the corpse was naturally preserved. Meet the 2,400-year-old corpse, known as the Tulland Man. Found deep in a bog with its neck tied with rope, the researchers were able to determine that the corpse had been hung. For what purpose, no one knows. But one thing there is the last meal he had eaten before he was put to death, which turned out to be porridge and some fish. Exposed grave. Not a mummy, but a man's camera caught a bizarre scene from a cemetery. He spotted a half-open grave in the middle of the cemetery, and taking a closer look, the man's camera recorded the skeleton of a human probably 1.8 meters tall lying inside. Not knowing how the grave opened, the guy went a little inside, and he was shocked to see some more skulls placed on the grave's corner. And that was not it, as human legs and some other body parts were also present inside it, which definitely didn't belong to the single person. So what was going on here? Let me know what you think. Mummified Queen. With her veins still red, skin still tough, the lady, known as the Queen of Mummification, is said to be the wealthiest woman of her time. Sleeping along with the valuables that were placed inside her tomb, she showed the signs of wealth and prosperity, and the researchers assumed that this might be the reason behind the exemplary preservation of the lady, because even after being dead for hundreds of years, her joints were still flexible, even though her eyelash and nose hair were still intact, and it looked like a corpse of a recently deceased person, rather than someone who had died centuries ago. Dino people. If you used to believe that humans came following the dinosaurs' extinction, then get ready to be proven wrong. As buried underneath a tomb, scientists discovered something strange yet fascinating. They unearthed hundreds of figurines containing the figure of humans and dinosaurs, and both of them along with each other. And even some of them showed people riding the dinosaurs, which potentially proves that there might have been some time in the ancient eras where both of these creatures used to live together, but probably for a very short period of time, that no signs other than these thousands of year old figurines were found. Gold mummies. This is the Valley of the Gold Mummies, where multiple people are taking their eternal sleep, covered in gold. Containing a rich culture filled with distinct traditions, Egyptians highly impacted their surroundings, just like the Romans, who, when invading Egypt, adopted the process of mummification, and that in gold, obsessed with the idea of gold. The Egyptians used to believe that the gods were made up of gold, so when their kings died, they used to cover their bodies in gold-plated coffins, and sometimes even cover their faces with gold so that they could become a divine being in the afterlife. Sewer monster. While exploring the ancient caves, a group of explorers decided to go a little further inside it, in search of some old treasures that might be hidden there. When not being able to locate anything, the group decided to head back towards their car. But it turned out someone really didn't want them to go back, as when heading back, one of the boys heard something coming from an ancient drainage system a little distant from the caves. And there it was, a strange creature, a cryptid, that even though locked in the bars, was trying all of its efforts to come out and catch the group.
Okay.
But luckily, the group made it out unharmed. Unicorn remains. While many of us believe that unicorns belong to the fictional world and don't belong to our world, a man's camera caught the unexpected, a unicorn skull half buried in the sand. And when it was brought to the researchers, they revealed something that might disappoint you, as these ancient unicorns are nothing like we expected them to be, and are more recent than the humans had assumed. Because in reality, the unicorns did not resemble the horses, but actually were something quite like rhinos, with a single horn over its head, that roamed the earth about 29,000 years ago. Coffins of Saqqara. Found inside the tomb of Saqqara are buried the rarest and the most fascinating coffins. An archaeologist was shocked when he accidentally found a chamber of huge figurines that were buried there about 2,000 years ago. And when they went inside, the archaeologist was surprised to see hundreds of them placed inside the chamber. And not alone, they were placed along with gilded masks and falcons, and a lot of other antique things that showed signs of wealth, as no ordinary people were inside those coffins. Some of them were kings and queens of the 2,000-year-old world, and that proves that Saqqara was once a land of great importance. Egyptian witch. A man decided to visit a cave to see the ancient witch that is believed to be living there. At first, he was disappointed to have not spotted anything, but on his way back, He was shocked to see a creature sitting on the abandoned side of the mountain. The creature, or must I say the womanly beast wearing black clothes, had a strange appearance. Holding a stick made of animal skull, the cryptid's face was all covered. Furious for being followed by the man, the witch went inside, and even from a distance, it was clear that she was casting some sort of spell. Clearly for this reason, as she didn't want the boy to leave there alive. Lady Rye. A perfect example of embalming for the archaeologists. This is Lady Rye, discovered in 1881. She is believed to have died at 40 years of age, and is usually referred to as the oldest mummy which has ever been found. But other than being the oldest lady, Rye's body holds so many fascinating features. Her body was at first covered in linen clothing, and then for preservation, the people had used a mixture of resin and sand, which had helped in keeping the corpse intact. And her CT scan revealed that she had been suffering from atherosclerosis, which led to her death, a disease quite common in people from that age. Gowned Man. Why is it always that in the darkest of nights, people decide to explore the creepiest of places? Well, there, right there, stands the answer to our question. While visiting the ancient detention center that was actually built to imprison the old criminals, hearing some weird voices, the visitors were sure that there was something strange going on in there. But, well, whatever it was, didn't give the people any time to react, as it popped right in front of them. Wearing a long white gown. Because the video cuts right there, nothing much is known of the eerie gowned man. But what do you think it actually was? Mystery creature. When caught on camera, a mysterious creature with a pale color was caught walking on an empty road at night. It was about 2 meters tall and was walking while scooching over. It had a human head, but relatively skinny body. And as soon as the video went viral, it started a debate among the paranormal enthusiasts. Some say it is a hoax, while others believe the video shows they have spotted similar things around their houses. But because the exact location of the creature was not known, nothing much about it was revealed. So, was it a ghost, a mummy, or an alien caught wandering? Cave ghost. Feeling that something is not right with the place, the man started recording to get proof of what he was seeing. It was wearing a white cape-like clothing and kept encountering the man, probably signaling him to go back. And there it was, a little far, but a creature with no legs and presumably no bones was caught at an abandoned place and strolling there for some time. The ghost-like creature went straight into the wall and disappeared. Because the video cuts there, not much is known about the creature. But do let me know what you think of this flying ghost. Seti the Mummy. Lying in the National Museum of Egypt, Seti's mummy has gained much importance for the last few years, as researchers have found something that has been keeping the mummy intact for years. Other than being usually packed and mummified like the rest, it looks like the ancient Egyptians used to be quite advanced in plastic surgery, as they have applied filters on the cheekbones and even on the head. That's how, even after being decapitated by some robbers 3,000 years ago, the mummy, covered in lots of clothing, still lies in the museum, as fresh as it can be. Inside the pyramids. Compared to our little knowledge, there are way more mysteries that the pyramids contain. Just like this beauty. Well, she's the beauty of the mummy's world. Officials say that when they discovered her and opened her coffin, she was wearing a gold crown on her head and jewelry as well. And because the lady was not identified, the fact that she was buried in an elite place and gold finery was buried along her determines the rank she belonged to. But there was something strangely unique in her, as the lady was not buried with her original eyes, but they had been replaced by wooden eyes that were carved exactly like real ones. Miniature coffins. While digging up a tomb of an ancient king in Egypt, the archaeologists came across the tiniest coffins, and inside them, laid the tiniest mummies of stillborn babies of the king. Though the scientists know that such mutations and stillbirths were common in the ancient world, they were still investigating the fact that these two baby girls were born along with their father. But it was after some time they got to know that being buried along with girls was considered a luck charm, as the ancient people used to believe the girls and women as their protectors that would guide them in their afterlives. Oldest mummy. This 300-year-old mummy was found in the year 2020 and was believed to be something out of this world. Though the corpse was not present in its original form and was distorted from several parts, the researchers consider it a present from the past. The corpse was male with a height of 1.5 meters, covered in several pieces of clothes that were strongly tied with the corpse. The inside of the body looked like it was cremated before burial, but not just a single dead body, but several cremated parts of human bodies were also placed inside the coffin, which made the discovery even more suspicious. Underwater mysteries. Hiding underneath the water, the recent finds in an Egyptian city are not something you would see every day, as they belong to different parts of history. At one side of the Mediterranean Sea, archaeologists found the remains of a 2,200-year-old shipwreck that was struck by the giant blocks of a large temple from the city that had already sunk in the water before. And on the other side, they have also found an ancient burial ground from where different kinds of decorated pottery and gold amulets under the water were believed to be 2,400 years old. An archaeologist, while exploring the Great Pyramids of Egypt, had this strange experience. While going down through a wooden ladder, the man felt a strange movement deep down, so he paused there for a while. And there it was, a wild creature resembling a wolf and containing Satan horns on his head was approaching the archaeologists. Unable to identify it, he quickly ran towards the top, leaving the beast far behind in the tunnel. Though nothing much was revealed by them, it's believed that the tunnel was later filled with mud to secure the researchers from any danger. Let me know what you think of this strange discovery.
Forests are beyond trees and wild animals, but a place where dangerous mythical creatures are known to take refuge. From mysterious creatures in the dark to completely unrecognizable forces in broad daylight, these are some of the most disturbing creatures ever to be caught on the trail camera. Skeleton with glowing eyes. Either this is a prison escapee or a good old ghost. A group of young hikers who were out on a camping trip in Casanino National Forest, Arizona. While exploring the forest, they noticed a troubled-looking man sitting beside a narrow stream of water. To get a better look at it, the light was focused on it, to which it reacted by suddenly turning and staring at them. It had a shaved head with a skinny body, almost as if it were a Halloween skeleton. No matter how dark it gets, human eyes do not glow or reflect light, which clearly shows that this was no human, but a skeleton ghost. Glowing-eyed mummy chase. Just by looking at the glowing eyes, you can know this certainly is no hoax. In September 2019, two colleagues were returning from work in their car when a manly figure in the dark started sprinting parallel to them. Seconds later, the ghostly figure closed in towards the light, revealing its final form. It seemed to look like a mummy with glowing eyes and an incredible speed. First, it got closer to them and then attempted to jump into the vehicle when the driver was able to speed away. This certainly could not be a human, but a mummy that may have gotten possessed by a supernatural entity. Ghost attempts to hide. Either this ghost dozed off into the water or it was attempting to hide itself. A trail camera planted on a bridge next to a haunted house captured footage of a ghost that tripped into a small stream. The camera was placed in the area to investigate the cause of disturbance in the area in the dead of night. After reviewing the footage, many believe that this would rather be a cause of a young woman being possessed by a ghost. Flying humanoid. If the furry humanoids weren't spooky enough, you now have one that can fly. 2 young boys, while playing in the backyard of a farm in Kent, United Kingdom, noticed a weird-looking hive. With their father filming the video, they got closer to the hive when a flying bug came out of the hive. At first, it was thought to be a firefly or a dragonfly, but seconds later they could notice that this bug is humanoid. From arms to legs, it had a body structure completely similar to that of a human with wings to fly. As it came flying out, the father and the kids reacted by fleeing away. Since the footage has gone viral, many call it a real-life fairy. Forest zombie. This looks to be either a zombie or a clown, or perhaps both. After numerous reports of something haunting a small part of a forest in Ontario, Canada, paranormal investigators decided to investigate. After several hours of searching, they weren't able to find any ghosts, but rather a zombified being that was stalking them from a distance. Upon one of the paranormal investigators spotting this haunting figure, it quickly escaped behind the tree and into the darkness. It had sparkly eyes, clown-like makeup, sharp reflexes, and not to mention huge in size. Imagine the horror of such a nightmare ambushing you. Jungle highway crawler. Choosing a highway to crawler in the middle of a forest is probably the worst place to be around for creeping onto someone. Only a few days ago, a transport driver, while passing through the dense Valdivian temperate rainforest road, came across a naked-looking crawler in the middle of the road. It looked to be quite skinny as a frame of moving skeleton with a very bleak face and hair, although it remained mostly stationary. But according to the driver, it was too eager to get closer. The driver, who turned around for alternate route out of fear of his safety, was criticized by many for not helping a possible man in distress. Sword hand skeleton. Something as scary as this surely redefines the notion of haunting spirits in graveyards. With the appearance of a sharp footstep-like trail all around the cemetery, gravediggers decided to place a trail camera, hoping to find some answers. To their surprise, a disturbing-looking rake being was caught on camera as it was passing by the graves using its sword-like limbs to move. Its body was merely a dark shade of skeleton. While many consider it a rogue ghost, some call it to be a case of reincarnation or a dead man walking. Humpy ghost. It's probably the hump that may have gotten it not so mobile. A group of friends who were lighting up firecrackers to celebrate the 4th of July when they were interrupted by a high-pitched guttural cry. Curious for answers, they decided to investigate the noise. While passing through the trees, they were abruptly stopped after spotting what looks to be a weird, humpy entity in the dark. Since the idea of getting closer for identification wasn't an option, they decided to lobby a flying firecracker in its direction before running away.
Get out of here.
Many take it to be a case of a drugged-up human, but whatever it was surely is a terrifying sight to behold. Dark furry monster. This particular dark furry monster may initially seem like a man wearing a Halloween costume until you look closely at its eyes. 2 explorers, while passing through the forest of northern Iran, spotted an eerie hiding behind the bushes. Due to the pitch darkness of the night, they were forced to get closer to it to investigate. While preaching religious chants, they were to get close, but still could barely see it. It had a dirty fur-like coat with incredibly white eyes that were visible. Due to lack of light and fear of the unknown, they weren't able to get a good look at it despite being spitting distance away from it. Tall, furry humanoid. The bigger and furrier it is, the more concerning it gets. After dozens of reports of a tall, furry, human-like figure being noticed in a woods near Winnipeg, a former canine expert was hired by wildlife experts to find and investigate. The canine tracker, after hours of attempting to find the rumored humanoid, was about to call it a day until the notorious being made a sudden appearance as it passed by the tree. The tracker attempted to get a closer look at it, but his dog refused to join into the pursuit, creating a moment of confusion that aided in the humanoid's escape. Fortunately, a camera was installed on the dog harness, which captured the first ever glimpse of this rumored being. Slender Man. In 2018, two friends and a little girl were traveling across states when they bumped into an abnormality, tall and suspicious-looking man referred to as the Slender Man. The Slender Man appeared in the middle of them, making the driver turn off-road and into the grass before stopping. Seconds later, the camera blacked out and started recording once again, showing the Slender Man walking in the woods with the little girl. One of the two friends went missing, while the other was able to find the little girl with a note left behind probably by the Slender Man. Till date, authorities haven't been able to figure out who or where this tall being came from. Creepy cryptid encounter. Is this a bird of some kind or just a horribly looking rodent? While out for an adventure, a tourist encountered a creepy looking animal that was hiding behind a dried up tree trunk in the Appalachian Mountains of North America. Its face looked as if it were deformed with something like a beak on the face. The intentions of this animal were unclear, as it never moved much besides keeping the eyes locked onto the recorder. With the behavior as such, the tourist described it to be an unrecognizable animal that was later pronounced to be a cryptid. Skinwalker attack in woods.
Oh.
If you hear an unsettling humming sound, it's probably for the best to stand clear of it. A man, while driving on the outskirts of Montana, stopped for a cigarette break when he heard a very unsettling humming sound all of a sudden. Out of curiosity, the man entered the woods to find the source of the sound when a skinny, fast-moving skinwalker appeared from nowhere in pursuit of the man, almost as if it were a predator. What happened next remains a mystery. However, the fact that this video made it to the internet shows that the man who recorded the footage may have survived. Alien Scout. The appearance of the UFOs and alien sightings such as these are surely not a mere coincidence. A couple, along with their neighbors, were camping nearby the Big Bear Lake in California when a tiny possum-like being made a sudden appearance, catching them all by surprise. According to the witnesses, it had a physical appearance similar to that of a fictional character, Dobby from the Harry Potter movies, but was a bit too green. As the wildlife experts are trying to make sense of the incident, many debated that this could be an alien scout, especially due to a UFO sighting the previous day. Cryptid caught on camera. Cryptid or not, even they tend to make mistakes and get seen. An explorer, while placing his trail camera in a mountain forest somewhere in the United States, found a mysterious shadowy figure. It was seen curiously peeking out from next to a broad tree trunk and got caught on the camera that was still recording. Although it didn't show any sinister intentions, the cameraman quickly ran away from the area. The fact that the nature of this being is unknown and you never know what it might be capable of, he instinctively decided to run away. The figure remains a complete mystery, despite widespread online exposure. Crooked-faced walker. This is one of those times when something fictional becomes a reality. Residents from a small town in Wisconsin reported numerous appearances of this crooked-faced walker, which has a resemblance to a mythical character called the Spirit Walker. Locals would often wear costumes depicting the walker until it actually started appearing after dark at festivals and community events. So much so that it was locally known as the Spirit of Bizarre. It has a body structure similar to that of a man with extremely long, bony arms, all covered in a suit and a mask. The footage was taken by one of the cameras that was placed to get a closer view at it. Shady Beast. With little to no trees around, the chances of it being a monkey is next to impossible. A footage captured in a woodland area in Nebraska shows a troubled-looking individual that was spotted by passerby as it appeared out from behind the grass. The author of the video at first thought it to be a monkey in distress or an animal of some kind, until it got closer and up on its hind, revealing its terrifying face as it began chasing. The recorder described it to have a beastly appearance, which, after video getting viral, was later nicknamed as the Shady Beast. Catching birds for dinner. A simple fact that gorillas are not known to hunt birds is enough to say that this isn't something normal. A video recorded in March 2016 by a fisherman who was returning from a catch shows a huge furry animal on top of a pole. This furry animal was attempting to catch seagulls flying nearby. Upon capturing one of them, it started bashing the seagull aggressively on the pole, presenting its incredible strength, and started eating minutes later. As it was able to climb tall, narrow poles easily, many speculated that it could be a gorilla, but honestly, it seems like a really hungry Bigfoot. Groot-like creature. If Groot has an evil twin, this probably has to be it. A Virginia family of 3 went out for trekking in the nearby forest where they noticed a tall, dark man-like tree that also happened to be staring at them. The parents commented that they felt like being followed by an unknown stalker hours after entering the forest. Coincidentally, they happened to notice the same tree, despite moving for several hours, which raised their suspicion. Interestingly, the tree creature didn't seem to have any footsteps left behind and remained stationary until it was seen moving slowly. Could it be that a tree somehow came to life, or is it an outer Earth visitor? Giant Tarzan. A sighting such as this is probably a dream come true for all the Tarzan fans. A construction worker in Minnesota, while on a break, saw that this very tall man, who was caught by the magnificence of modern construction, it looked almost naked, covered only by a dark piece of clothing with a height twice to that of an average person. As one of the construction workers riding on his bicycle passed by that point, this real-life Tarzan suddenly disappeared. Since the footage was taken from quite a distance, the tall man wasn't identified properly. Caned Ghost Yoda. Facing off a pissed Yoda is more dangerous than all other scary creatures in the dark. A cowboy on a horse was passing through woods while looking at some missing cattle, bumped into a tiny being having similarity to that of a Yoda from Star Wars. This Yoda, resembling a ghost, was running towards the cowboy while aggressively stabbing its sharp cane on the ground. It began to gain pace upon closing in, and due to the fear of the unknown, the man responded by fleeing. While the actual intentions of the caned ghost Yoda may remain a mystery, it definitely couldn't be any good. Aggressive Yeti. What could be scarier than being killed by a Yeti? It's having one to trip and fall onto you. In January 2021, 2 friends out on a 3-day hiking adventure came across some way scarier than your typical wild animal, a Yeti. The Yeti appeared out of nowhere and started inspecting their backpacks when they returned back to their base camp with firewood. During the unwarranted inspection, the Yeti unknowingly pepper sprayed itself in the eyes. It began to panic aggressively. It got so aggressive that it nearly fell on the hikers before stumbling down the hilly terrain. Bigfoot with glowing eyes. Maybe this Bigfoot was just showing off its sparkling eyes. A TikToker, while out in the Canadian woods for a video, had a close call with this giant gorilla-like creature with exceptionally bright eyes. At first, it was thought of being some gorilla, until after it came closer while passing by. Being caught in fear and confusion, he decided to film the incident. To get answers, the video was uploaded on social media, where many called it a Bigfoot, and that this might be the closest ever encounter with one of them. The TikToker definitely was fortunate enough that the Bigfoot didn't display any predatory behavior. Naked man. A hunter, while passing past a forest nearby Tomorrow World area, when he heard someone calling at him for help. Upon looking down, he noticed a man with not a stitch of clothing on him standing by the creek along with a walking cane. While maintaining distance, the naked man claimed that he had been robbed, beaten up, and stripped of all clothing by bullies during the music festival before being dropped in the woods. After days of trying to survive, he decided to stick next to the creek. The hunter managed to get a number of the naked man's next of kin to get in touch so they could come and get him. This picture was captured by a lost traveler who was passing through a forest in New Zealand on June 10, 2021. The traveler, while stopping to rest for the night, was disturbed by a terrifying zombie-like cry not too far from his location. In hopes to offer help, he called closer to the source of the sound, only to find its point of origin from something that looked unlike any known human. Seconds after the encounter, the traveler immediately decided to flee for his life. After several minutes of running away, the recorder hid himself under a tree bark and decided to remain stationary till dawn, having this picture, the only clear view of this being. Paranormal creature climbing. Something so dark and tiny as this rules out the possibility of it being a burglar. A security camera placed opposite to a villa in a rural area of Karnataka, India, shows a black child-sized creature that crawls next to the villa until it starts climbing up. Locals believe it to be the spirit of a young child that once lived in the house to be returning, while others believe it to be a jinn. Whatever this may have been, it was surely sneaky enough to get past the guard that was sleeping in a chair facing right in front of this paranormal being. Dead alienoid. Alien or not, death surely doesn't spare anyone. Texas farmers who had lost several of their chickens due to numerous animal attacks decided to lay down a bait to draw out the animal. Upon doing so, they noticed a very unusual looking animal in the fields who took the bait in a manner similar to the attack on the chickens. One of the farmers, either pissed or terrified of this alienoid, fired at it, but it managed to escape. After following the bloody trail closely, the alien animal was later found dead next to a tiny bush after having bled out due to the critical wound.
See him up there, by the trees.
With the proliferation of cameras just about everywhere, more and more weird stuff is captured by the camera's all-seeing lens. From freaky, wild creatures of dark nights to the oddly mythical figures of woods, while others are totally unbelievable. Here's the most disturbing trail cam footage that no one was supposed to see. Disappearing man. Imagine installing a camera to capture some wild moments on a snowy night, but you come across this. A bizarre hunched-over figure with glowing eyes suddenly emerged from the dark and could be seen running to the left side of the ground, and then disappeared instantly. Nowhere. It might have merged into thin air. Was it really a ghoul captured running at midnight, or was it just a hoax? To me, there was something really mysterious, as the dog sitting in the corner could be noticed turning its head in the direction of the running figure. What do you guys think? Extraterrestrial creature. Deer, coyotes, or naughty raccoons. This is all that you expect to see in your trail cam footage. But a trail cam installed in the woods of Australia captured something absolutely terrifying. From behind one of the trees appeared some mysterious lights. However, the zoomed-in footage displayed the mystifying lights were actually the eyes of an odd-shaped creature that was trying to peek directly into the camera. At first, it might look like a kid in a costume, but the weird glowing eyes didn't seem like a humanoid trait. Then, was that something really that we should call an extraterrestrial, or just another unidentified creature? Share your thoughts by commenting below. Monster stalking a moose. This video, posted in August 2018, sent cold chills among internet users, as it displays a strange creature peeking from behind one of the trees in the middle of a haunted forest. The resource person of this clip claimed to witness this monstrous creature many times before that, and called it a rake because it has a human-like appearance and usually attacks people walking alone in the woods. But this time, it looks like the spooky, pale creature has targeted the huge moose as it was filmed stalking the animal that was busy grazing in that haunted forest. Masked Man. The hunters set their cameras to get information about animals they can hunt. However, sometimes their search for a new species could end up in an unexplainable fear. A trail cam footage posted a few months back shows a strange figure coming out of the dense forest. It is really hard to state what that creature might be, but as it walked eerily with its bent legs, and also the face was covered with a strange mask, some people thought it could be a publicity stunt. But everything about this image is terrifying, as we have no idea where this figure came from or why he was wandering on his knees at midnight. Bigfoot under the nest. In September 2016, a trail cam installed somewhere in the woods of Michigan State to film tiny eaglets captured something really spooky. Initially, all went well, as the camera placed right above the nest was filming the adorable bird moments. Then, suddenly, from behind one of the trees below the nest, appeared a black bipedal creature that walked away. However, due to the blurred image, it's hard to identify the creature, but many people stated that it was a Bigfoot, as nothing huge and bulky was ever spotted in that area before. Do you guys also think it was a Bigfoot? Please let us know by commenting below. Peeking Alien. Watching this clip will surely prevent you from planning late-night camping, especially in the middle of the spooky forest. While burning a fire to keep the wild critters away from their tents, a group of friends heard some mysterious noise in the dark. Thinking of any forest resident, one of the guys tossed the fire in front of the tree, yet he was not expecting to come across this. A tiny, gray cryptid with pointed fingers was trying to get warmth while hiding behind the tree, and quickly moved back as the man filming it tried to get a closer look. Unfortunately, nothing could be stated exactly about the figure, but to me, it looked like an alien. Weird man in the forest. Let me show you another disturbing clip of the day, as it involves a couple of friends who stumbled upon something really spooky while walking in the forest at night. Standing alone in the middle of the path was a strange guy in white who started to communicate with them.
Ryan?
Is that you?
Is that you?
Yeah, it is.
Prove it?
Prove it?
Yeah, prove it.
Thinking of their lost friend, when one of the guys asked that boy to prove his identity, he suddenly changed his shape and voice and vanished back into the dark, just like a creepy ghoul.
I don't know where this thing is, or when it's gonna...
Although one of the guys tried to chase him, they couldn't get any other clue. And since that time, the truth behind the creepy guy has become an unsolved mystery. Unknown beast in the backyard. Filmed at an unknown location, the camera captured a bizarre figure peeking from behind the wall on the side of the pool. Initially, it looked like a man trying to get inside, but when the footage was zoomed in, it started looking less like a human. In fact, the way it looked around and managed to jump back didn't seem human at all. Many claimed it could be a midnight ghost, while others simply stated that it was nothing but a bear. Well, if any of you know better, do write us in the comment section. Humo crab. While enjoying the bonfire in the middle of the thick woods, a group of friends got the biggest shock of their life when they decided to look for the girl who went away to make a call. Searching around for the girl, they were stunned to find her lying numb in front of a tree, and then suddenly, from behind one of the bushes, a creepy creature jumped out. With multiple limbs attached to a human body, that unidentified being seemed to be a human crab-type creature. Although this clip stopped without any proper ending, these few terrifying minutes are enough to make you think twice the next time you set up a plan for camping. Bigfoot encounter. It's okay to find animals in the woods, but it's definitely not okay to find monstrous creatures right in front of the camera. While chasing a deer to get a closer look, another couple of campers were shocked to find a huge beast behind the trees. At first, they took it as a bear, but it was all until the dark creature stood up. With its dark body and giant features, it looked right at them and tried to get close. Fortunately, they both managed to escape, leaving their tent. In fact, everything behind. Many speculated it to be a huge bear, but according to those guys, it was an actual Bigfoot. Cryptic being. According to an old saying, forests are actually haunted by werewolves and witches that come out at night. But this time, it looks like one of the evil spirits has decided to make an appearance in daytime. Filmed at an unknown location, this video shows a car being driven in the middle of a forest, and suddenly, the driver noticed a strange, small creature standing on the roadside. Apparently, it looked like a small animal, but upon getting closer, it turned out to be a short, faceless figure who was busy in some kind of sinister activity, but suddenly ran back after watching a car approaching it. Is it really a cryptic being, or just a hoax? Any ideas? Sasquatch spotted in Russia. This short clip of just 16 seconds includes the craziest moment no one could have ever seen. Recorded by an unknown source somewhere in Russia in 2011, this clip shows a closer look of the most discussed mythical beast. A huge, hairy body and long arms, it really looked like a real Sasquatch. No more details could be stated about the creature, as the guy filming it seemed to be scared of the thing. Yet the perfect humanoid walk pointed toward the legendary Sasquatch, as it could be seen quickly walking through the woods after realizing it was being filmed. Unidentified hairy monster. Exploring the woods to learn more about the forest, two young students felt some movements behind the trees. Looking deeper into the bushes, they came across an unidentified creature that initially looked like a wild critter that was hiding beneath the woods, yet suddenly stood up and stared at the curious visitors. Terrifying is all that can be said about this footage, because nothing much could be explained about the creature, as they had to escape hurriedly after watching the beast heading toward them. Eerie giant figure. Humanoid walk, giant body, and long, heavy arms. Another legendary creature of all time was filmed strolling fearlessly on snowy ground. The video, after being posted, grabbed a lot of attention from internet users, as many took it as an alleged Sasquatch sighting. But since the video wasn't very clear, a few claimed it was actually a guy struggling to hike on the hill covered with snow, and was misunderstood for his strange walk. Really a Sasquatch, or just a misunderstanding? Any guesses from your side? Spooky werewolf. Have you ever been into the woods alone? Well, if not, then you must hold your breath, as this short clip will definitely stop you from doing so. Filmed at an undisclosed location, this footage shows a guy trying to get close to an animal to whom he thought was a grizzly bear. Right at that moment, the beast started running toward him, and the video suddenly ended there, leaving everyone questioning about the beast. There is a possibility of a werewolf sighting, as upon looking at the huge appearance, the creature didn't seem like a bear to me. Creepy skinwalker. It's not always Bigfoot lurking from behind one of the trees, but sometimes there are many other odd beings waiting for us. A couple, while driving in the middle of a forest, decided to stop their car to investigate the animal making weird noises. However, they were left baffled after watching this. From behind one of the bushes, a creepy figure emerged and crossed the bushy path by crawling on its bent legs. Although it was not visible due to the dark, due to its pale, skinny body, it was assumed to be a skinwalker that mostly came out at night to spook the passerby. Mysterious black shadow. Rake crawling in woods. A bizarre trail cam footage quickly went viral as it claimed to show an eerie figure in the middle of the woods. Recorded somewhere in an unrevealed place, the video took a normal start, but then the actual oddity entered the frame from the left side. Crawling on all its fours was an eerie creature that could be seen rambling through the woods, just like a huge, bulky animal. However, the way it stopped and looked around didn't match any animal's traits. Since the footage was recorded from a distance, it's hard to say exactly what could be the creature, but many are speculating it to be the horrific, urban, legendary Rake. Frozen in park. A lady standing still in front of MK Ultra, or just some kind of publicity stunt to gain fame. I'm not too sure what was actually going on here. Soul left wild boar. This footage might be the rarest one, as it literally shows the most unbelievable and disturbing moment ever recorded. It started with a wild boar strolling normally, and this is exactly what trail cams are meant to record. But within a few seconds, the whole scene changed as the animal falls on the ground and struggled hard to stand back up. And all of a sudden, its body started shivering, and it could be seen shaking its legs, followed by a plume of black smoke that mysteriously arose from its body. And then it became still, although it could be noticed trying to breathe. According to the owner of this footage, the animal was found dead in its place. Headless moose. Another disturbing piece of footage shows a strange animal that was not only weird and frightening, but also very fast. Near a railway track in the middle of the wilderness, a guy was scared to death after watching a strange moose running wildly without any head on its huge body. Since the video is quite blurry, it's difficult to say whether it was an actual headless animal or just a moose running with its head to one side. Many think it's just an edited clip, while others claim it to be an actual headless moose that was running away from its hunters. What do you guys believe? Arrow stuck in deer's head. Survival of an impaired one in the wilderness is actually very challenging, yet this next clip shows an unfazed deer with an arrow sticking out of its head that was observed doing really well for more than 3 years. The deer was named Carrot after it was spotted lurking in the backyard of a house in Canada and was believed to be a miraculous survivor. Fortunately, the distressing clips of the poor animal hit the internet, and it was soon rescued by wildlife authorities. Two-headed deer.
Two-headed deer.
Have we got you puzzled? At first, I also got confused after watching this bizarre two-headed deer. Look how perfectly both of the heads moved in the same direction. Was this actually a two-headed deer, or just another manipulated clip? Well, after watching this clip more carefully, I reached to a conclusion that those were actually two animals standing in a typical posture, which made them look like one animal with two heads. As the video proceeded, one of the heads could be seen mystically disappearing from the scene, leaving just one complete deer behind. What do you guys say? Deer with a crooked neck. Here we have another strange deer, but this time it was not any optical illusion. But in fact, this deer was actually spotted in an awkward situation, as its head was hanging bizarrely to one side. Though it was observed perfectly walking through the dense bushes, it was unable to lift its head or to move it around. Biologists suspected that it might have broken its spine at a very young age, but somehow managed to survive with its major disability, and was spotted strolling several times in St. Mary's. People called it a crooked-necked deer that was also believed to be a mother of cute little fawns. Living mammoth. Show me something more disturbing than this one. Long, curved tusks, a huge trunk, a fatty hump on a massive woolly body. All these features belong to a living mammoth that was filmed in 1948 in Russia. The great animal from the prehistoric times was actually seen roaming almost 60 years back and was captured during World War II by a German photographer. Although it was quite terrifying to see a living mammoth from the past, many claimed it to be a fake one, while a few are still trying to figure it out. Attacked by wolves. This trail cam footage opens with an adorable moose mother wandering around along with its young calf. Initially, all went well, as the mother moose could be seen protecting its young calf from the wolf. But then suddenly, the video took a horrific turn when the mother turned back and, instead of the wolf, it accidentally kicked its calf in the head. Seeing the calf on the ground, another hungry wolf jumped in to get a bite of the fallen prey. Yet the moose mother kept on protecting its calf from the attacking wolves. However, it's impossible to say whether she was able to protect her young ones or not, as all of the animals went out of sight. Man stalked by lion. Encountering something like this in the woods is definitely a disturbing thing you'll never want to experience. The guy in the image looked excited as he could be seen enjoying his hunt of the day, a giant deer. And behind him is a ferocious predator that was captured stalking the hunter. Unfortunately, we could only get this single image, and I'm not sure if the lion was actually waiting for the deer, or its real target was the hunter. However, later this guy posted another video in which the same lion was observed chasing. This terrifying image was captured by a trail camera, showing a creepy humanoid creature climbing a tree with all 4 of its limbs. The exact location of this image is unknown, but some people claimed it to be captured from the deep Amazon forest, where this guy is believed to be the last remaining member of an isolated tribe in the Brazilian Amazon, and is known as the Man of the Hole. However, according to some, this was actually an ape-like creature that was seen hanging on the trees during the Darrow expedition in 1977. Well, if any of you knows more about it, please let us know by commenting below. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.
Prepare for a journey into the enigmatic and perplexing reaches of the natural universe. We've compiled the strangest encounters from the depths of untamed forest and the uncharted ocean depths for this special compilation. Be ready as we reveal the bizarre and fascinating relationships that occur between animals and their natural habitat, as well as the discovery of mysterious creatures and ancient statues that are silently resting at the bottom of the sea. The Limping Doe. A heart-yearning incident was caught on a trail camera, a possible event of human ignorance and vicious hunting activities. A peculiar-looking deer was captured on a trail camera walking through the woods unfashionably. Upon proper investigation, the deer seemed limping on its 3 legs. Its 4th leg was missing, making it hard for the poor creature to walk appropriately. The hiker stated this anomaly was some accident in the woods rather than a genetic defect. It seemed like the poor deer had its legs stuck in some electrical fence or vicious trap. As we plunge deeper into the video, the trail camera tracked through its daily hustles and difficulties. Moreover, the camera captured the peculiar behavior of its fellow deer. They were seen acting weirdly towards the 3-legged doe. As soon as she tried to come close to its troops, they moved apart, making her feel the odd one out. This behavior is quite natural to expect from wildlife. They don't adapt to unusual circumstances, let alone accept the limping. Wild tornado.
Yeah, it is. Keep going, keep going, keep going. We're gonna get it. Get on the other side of that tree.
Nature's not always been blissful to mankind. It has its monstrous and vicious side too, which is enough to topple the land it rumbles. A similar incident was recorded by 2 friends when they found themselves stranded in a heavy thunderstorm. 2 friends embarked on a bumpy journey through a dense forest on a 4-wheeler. They kept recording throughout their venture just to capture the beautiful sight of the hilly area. However, not soon enough, they found themselves lost amidst the sudden drizzling. The light drizzles turned into heavy rainfall in no time. Bounded by the heavy rain, a peculiar sight caught their attention and added more to their worry. A gust of wind was seen twisting with a heavy thrust, forcing tall trees to move with its rhythm. The fundamental element of surprise struck hard in our faces when that wind turned into a dangerous-looking tornado, tearing down everything that came in its way. In this video, we could see the hikers terrified over the vicious destruction caused by the persisting tornado.
Just destroyed something.
The tornado, however, wasn't densely colored like the usual ones. It was pretty transparent, giving the appearance of a ghost tornado wrecking the trees and houses. This terrifying scene would genuinely be a nerve-wracking sight for both friends.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
What is that?
Oh no!
Foam on streets. Sometimes, a little malfunction in the operating systems can turn into a big disaster. However, in this video, a unique sight was witnessed by the residents of Santa Clara, California. It was reported that the streets of Santa Clara were flooded by unique white snow that had foamy texture and dissolved upon touching. Quite an absurd-looking sight, isn't it? It must be heaven for children. However, on proper investigations, it was found that there was a fault in the fire alarm system of a nearby factory, which resulted in vast amounts of foam coming out of the factory floors. The local police reported that the snowy foam was waist-line thick, but it would soon disappear from the streets due to its dissolving nature. This accident would have been dangerous if it hadn't been for the fire alarm. Imagine if hazardous chemicals and factory waste would have made their way to the residential streets. It would have been dangerous for the locals, as these factory wastes contain harmful toxic contents. But thankfully, the roads of Santa Clara were lucky enough not to witness such a horrible sight. Dog's mysterious arrival. Imagine filming the final moments of a car race on a sound and quiet night. Filled with only intense drifting sounds, and suddenly, a new domain transports a dog in the middle of the racetrack. It is pretty absurd and strange, isn't it? In this video, a man recorded two cars in all their glory, and sparks drifting at full speed toward the alleged final line. The air is filled with excitement and the loud noises from their power engines. But as soon as the camera shifts its angle towards the other side, a dog comes out of nowhere. The spectator defined it as a teleportation scene from some science fiction movie. To testify the validity of this scene, the man slowed down the video, focusing right on the dog. The dog suddenly appeared in the picture after one of the cars and ran across the road in the rush of events. It was indeed a peculiar sight. However, it couldn't be called teleportation or coming out of some other realm because it would be some trick of an AI. Unexpected predator Victor. In a deadly encounter between a rattlesnake and a bobcat, who'd you choose if you were asked to bet on one? The venomous rattlesnake is known for its lethal and poisonous venom, but sometimes nature works contrary to our popular belief. A trail camera was set up by a bunch of hikers to record the mysterious wildlife of the dense forest. But little did they know that they would be witnessing the deadliest encounters of all time. In the video, a wild bobcat is roaming aimlessly through the dense forest, but those cautious eyes catch something mysterious slithering over a fallen log. The rattling sounds persuaded the cat to have a bite of this strange creature, and at the same time, the rattlesnake aimed at a big chunk of the meal. Within a few minutes, the battle started between the deadliest snake on Earth and a rather humble creature, a wild bobcat. Results are anticipated to favor the rattlesnake. But guys, one shouldn't take these cute creatures as polite and innocent. To our astonishment, the cat grabbed the snake by its sharp paws and attacked directly on its neck, giving it multiple blows in the same area to make its attack fatal. In no time, the snake surrendered and the cat was seen carrying the lifeless snake toward its hiding, proving that never take your cute cats as naive and poor little fellas. These can snap their target in the blink of an eye. ghostly woods fire. Have you ever seen a jester playing with fire and pulling off lethal yet spectacular stunts? He amazes us with his beautiful and peculiar patterns, sometimes unimaginable tricks with fire, leaving his spectators in utter shock. Mother Nature can pull even greater stunts and the deadliest of tricks, unbelievable and unthinkable to the human eye, enough to make us jump out of our seats and wonder over the enigmatic nature of our worldly domain. Our natural world can sometimes act strangely sufficient to be called a mysterious realm. One such incident caught our attention when, deep in the forests of Portugal, a spectator captured some ghostly flames making strange waves and patterns amidst the burning forest. It seemed these flames were dancing over some rhythmic beat, hallucinating and inviting the wildlife into its trap, and then encroaching gradually over the entire woods. These unique swirls and blazes were enough to force the spectator to capture this strange sight. The atmosphere appeared as a demonic ritual, a devil's den, and a satanic cauldron. However, this occurrence serves as a reminder of nature's unpredictable forces, asking us to respect and protect our environment. Bear versus pigs battle. In a daring and surprising set of events, a wild intruder is seen speaking to the newly shifted members of the neighborhood. The enormous black bear sniffed across the forest and quietly walked towards the pig's cage. At first, the bear was seen taking the measurements of the cell, gauging the efforts required to climb this cage. And when it was satisfied with its plan of attack, it made its first attempt. The pig seemed oblivious to the whole situation, as no squeaking sounds were heard. However, after a few tries when it was about to jump into the den, the pig shrieked at the bear in a deadly manner, which forced him to get out of their habitat at once. The cunning and hungry bear didn't lose hope and kept trying for another invasion. This time, it didn't let the pig get the better of him and jumped straight into the cage, attacking the pig. However, to its astonishment, the pig wasn't alone. Another vicious-looking pig aimed directly at the bear and rushed toward him in an attacking manner. This forced the bear to jump out of their cage and never disturb them again. It's a reminder of the fantastic ways animals can band together to protect themselves and their territory. Indonesian ghost. Imagine enjoying your vacation in Indonesia, and one day you wake up to strange noises of people outside your hotel. Upon further looking into the situation, you catch yourself looking at an eerie-looking creature gradually walking past the mountainous region. One such incident was recorded by the spectators in a mountainous area of Indonesia. The video began with confused spectators staring at a hilly landscape surrounded by trees. Still, as we look more closely towards the hilly terrain, we'll look at a strange shadow. This substantial black shadow appeared from nowhere in the hilly area. This peculiar sight made the viewers mesmerized as everyone was busy capturing this mysterious scene. The colossal shadow had a visible form and structure with distinct limbs. Many speculated the shadow as the infamous Bigfoot, but the blurred figure wasn't enough to call it the Bigfoot. Within a few minutes, the creature disappeared into thin air, as if it escaped through some mystique door into the realm of the unknown. This event raised many questions about the peculiar nature of our world, and some spectators frowned upon this incident, calling it a publicity stunt. Diving bell spiders. Unraveling the marvels of our worldly domain in this video, we're going to witness the weirdest type of spider ever to inhabit Earth. The specialty of these spiders lies in their unusual habitat. These spiders are not land dwellers. Instead, they survive in an aquatic habitat. These strange spiders can live up to 24 hours underwater. Isn't it fascinating? They have this ciliated hair over their abdomen to trap air bubbles over the water's surface, thus enabling them to breathe underwater. Another peculiar feature that sets them apart from normal spiders is their ability to create elaborate underwater homes, resembling silvery bubbles by collecting air and making silk out of it. Attached to submerged plants, these silken chambers act as both homes and nurseries for their offspring. These 8-legged creatures have exceptional preying abilities even underwater. They dwell upon small insects and aquatic animals to feed their needs. In short, these aquatic spiders serve as shining examples of nature's brilliant adaptations, illuminating the diversity of life and the wonders of evolution in the rich fabric of the animal kingdom. Alien settlement. Do you believe in aliens? If not, this video will surely make you question your decisions and force you to think about the inexplicable vastness of the oceans. As per evidence, most of the ocean is unexplored due to its vastness and immense depth. Hence, many deep-sea species are yet to be discovered. In this video, a sea explorer caught some intriguing scenes from underwater scenery that appeared strange to the average human eye. The sea diver caught clear footage of some alien-colored green colonies inhabiting the surface of the vast sea. These colonies looked like sea sponges, but they appeared to be less dense and airier, giving an outlook of an alien-like settlement. There's a possibility that these colonies might be of some new species of sea sponges, unknown to humans until now, or they can be some weird type of seaweed inhabiting the sea land. The video takes an unfamiliar route, leaving the viewers to decide about these underwater colonies. Do you guys think it's an alien settlement, or is it just some boring seaweed that turns strange green due to the severe pollution in our seas? A strange figure at the bottom of the sea. Diving deep into the vast and enigmatic depths of our oceans, an enthralling video surfaced over the internet that raised my questions about the horrifying encounters one might expect at the bottom of the sea. In this video, the deep-sea divers found a holy thing in the depths of the sea. This sacred thing was nothing but the statue of Jesus Christ wearing a cross symbol. The strange thing about this statue was its presence at the very depth of the sea. This could either be a part of some shipwreckage that might have fallen prey to the deadliest waves of the ocean, or some luggage ship dropped in on its voyage. Upon further speculations by marine biologists and archaeologists, it was confirmed that this statue trails down to 1956. It was built by a couple in loving memory of their dear son. However, over time, it plunged into the water, becoming a tourist destination for many deep-sea divers. It was a very creepy sight, especially in the vastness of the sea brimmed with deadly creatures. A giant salamander. Giant salamanders look like a hybrid between a fish and a reptile, but contrary to common beliefs, they are giant amphibians dwelling in an aquatic habitat. In similar events, a pretty unusual video was circulating on the internet, making headlines as a strange phenomenon was captured in it. The footage began with the dull sight of a river surrounded by tall trees. A man shot the video through a phone camera as a man with a large stick can be felt in the rear view. As the man starts focusing on the edge of the river, a distinct image can be seen forming at the bank of the river. The creature had only its head peeking through the river, while the rest of the body was thought to be submerged in the river. Its head was huge, giving the appearance of a giant salamander. Moreover, the massive head was covered in mud, and only a pair of eyes could be seen glaring at the spectator. The man tried to disturb it with his giant stick, and after a few blows, it dived back into the river, leaving us all in great misery. Now the question arises whether this creature was a giant salamander or an undiscovered species that had finally made its appearance. Do let us know in the comments. Unexplained shadows. The video describes an enigmatic incident that was caught on a dash cam in Maine, USA. Driving at night, Chef Cook had a terrifying incident when he saw a shadowy black person cross the road in front of his vehicle. This mysterious figure may be racing across the street in the unsettling video footage. There are several cemeteries near the vicinity of the encounter site, and there is conjecture that paranormal activity and these spirits are related. The video doesn't, however, offer conclusive proof to support this. The identity of the creature or figure that crossed the road still leaves many people wondering. The video also highlights comparable occurrences in other locations, such as the multiple ghostly Bearing Point Cemetery in Salem, Massachusetts, and the Colonial Park Cemetery in Savannah, Georgia, where witnesses have reported seeing odd, shadowy creatures. These reports of strange sightings and unexpected encounters heighten the mystery and interest in the paranormal and unexplained realms. A wild run chase. Wild forests have always been a hub of peculiar and deadliest encounters, ranging from lethal battles between strange animals to running chases down. One such unbelievable hunt scene was caught on a trail camera mounted on the tall trees of central Alberta, Canada. The video began with a breathtaking sight of a hilly forest surrounded by sky-high trees. Indeed, a tranquil-looking atmosphere. Amid this serenity, a band of beautiful horses was marching gradually through the woods. To witness these beautiful wild horses of Alberta is truly a lifetime experience. These luscious horses of all sizes were wandering freely in the vast forest. But guys, hold on to your chairs, as there's an element of surprise in this video. The video turned dark when far in the woods, a black grizzly bear could be seen following the band of horses. The Alberta horses were galloping towards their stable to protect themselves from this vicious bear. The camera recorded them from two different angles, and the bear seemed to be in a rage, sprinting blindly to the galloping of the horse. However, there is the tiniest bit of hope that the horses would have been saved by their shepherd, or they managed to escape into some hiding. A mule deer. The camera had caught a mysterious clip. It was recorded in far-off distance. It seemed like it was in a sandy area. The camera had noticed the presence of a mule deer, also called buck. It had antlers like a fork. Usually they use their antlers or horns as a weapon to fight with their competitors. They are very wild and untamed, and very large in size. It was moving with jumps from one place to another. Suddenly, an uncanny or curious scene happened. The mule deer that was moving, its one side fork-like antler, fell down on the ground. It was detached from its head. This was a very uncanny and strange scene that how was it possible? It was hold on with one side antlers. This was a very mystical creature the camera had shown this being many times, with this broken antler. It was a deep, great mystery that the camera had captured which was still unknown. Terrifying dashcam encounter. Many viewers may feel uneasy after watching the video, which shows a scary incident caught on a dashcam in a remote location. The person in the car claims that although it looks like a scene from a horror film, it was actually an authentic experience. A four-legged monster sprints towards the vehicle in the video and jumps on top of it. Obviously, the man in the car was afraid and thought he might be in danger. The creature moved on all fours and was described as having chimpanzee-like movements, but it is still unknown what animal it was. The experience brings to light a long-standing fear many people have when they come into contact with animals with human and animal characteristics. The term anthropomorphism, which is used to characterize entities with traits of both humans and animals, causes this fear. The video intensifies the mystery and anxiety surrounding encounters with such enigmatic and unsettling creatures, and it begs the question of what this man may have caught on his dashcam, although the creature's true nature and identity are still unknown. Enigmatic highway creature. In this video, a confusing and unsettling incident involving a mysterious creature crossing a road in the United Kingdom is captured on camera by a dashcam. This thing, which resembles no known animal at all, like a dog or a small deer, is seen crossing a highway, distracting drivers and possibly posing a threat to everyone on the road. The creature appears to have bent legs, according to several video analysts, which adds to the mystery. According to the video, the sighting is consistent with several local urban legends. Among these legends is the Beast of Bodermoor, a large and mysterious wild cat-like creature that has supposedly been sighted in the area for many years. Another urban legend in the area is that of the Black Shuck, a big black dog with glowing eyes who's rumored to wander the countryside. The true identity of the creature seen in the video is still unknown, and viewers are still left perplexed and uneasy by it despite these legends. In the video, the viewer's imagination is left free to speculate about the nature of this creature and how it might fit into the local folklore and legends of the area. Mysterious Nightcrawler Chronicles. This video talks about the strange creature that has been making people wonder since 2007, the Fresno alien. It is also known as the Fresno Nightcrawler. The beast has a petite body resembling a pair of walking pants and two long, slender legs. Its existence is still unknown, and it is known to only appear at night in remote locations. More recent footage of the Fresno Nightcrawler, found in a desolate area of Billings, Montana, is shown in the video. The exact nature and origin of the Fresno Nightcrawler remain a mystery despite numerous reports and images over the years. Believers are adamant that the creature exists, despite skeptics' attempt to dismiss sightings as hoaxes or the use of puppets of some sort. Surprisingly, a deer carcass was reported close to the spot where the most recent footage was taken, raising questions about the creature's possible diet and hunting techniques. This unique and mysterious creature, known as the Fresno Nightcrawler, appears only at night in isolated areas, raising many unanswered questions. The video contributes to the lore and mystery surrounding this cryptid. Unexplained Barbados entity. The dashcam footage shows an enigmatic and peculiar creature emerging from the grass on the Caribbean island of Barbados. The video's uploader is looking for theories regarding the name and origin of this unidentified creature, which is still up for debate. Although there isn't any hard proof to support the legitimacy of the video, some people think that isolated remote locations are more likely to witness unexplained creature sightings. Although the exact causes of this phenomenon are unknown, several theories have been put forth to try and explain why this type of activity is more common in rural areas. In this case, you would have to choose between curiosity and fear if you were traveling through a rural area with nothing around you, and suddenly saw a strange creature emerging from the grass. To escape any danger or discomfort, you could decide to just step on the gas and drive away, or you could choose to move back and investigate the matter more. The video raises the intriguing question of how people might respond to an unexplained and potentially unsettling encounter in a remote location. Mysterious deer. The camera had recorded something very mysterious and cryptic. It was a very peculiar or strange scene. This scene was recorded in the woods where the two deer were statues. There was another alive heart real deer. It came near that of a statue deer. It judged that deer that was a statue. It laid over the deer. It was thinking that it was a real deer, so it makes interacting with it. It lays on the back of the deer and starts sniffing its neck. It was continuing in this work. Suddenly, the statue deer neck was broken. It was desperate from it. Then this deer knew that it was not a real one. It was just a statue, so it moved away from there. It was a great deep mystery how the deer considered the statue real. Cryptid clowns. The camera captured a very mysterious and rare scene. It was a very peculiar moment on a desperate road when police were trooping on the road in their car. This scene was caught by a camera that was placed on a dashboard. The police officer's camera recorded something very strange. The camera recorded the appearance of the two cryptic clowns. They had slightest movement. They were looking very spooky and creepy. They were very rare in reality. They were not found much, so it was a very spooky scene of these clowns. They were looking very peculiar. One of the police officers came outside from the car. He pointed those clowns to go away from here.
Why don't you guys come up to this barrier right here? Go ahead and put your butts against it.
He pointed them with anger with no fear. Those two clowns were moving away from there in a very cryptic manner. They are moving slowly and slightly. It was a very unusual and uncanny way of their moving. They are looking very odd and cryptic. It was a great mystery that the police officer's camera had recorded. It was not found yet that they were real clowns or two men were wearing the clown's costume. It was not found still. Mysterious bobcat. The camera caught a peculiar and full of anxiety video. On a dark, spooky night, a bobcat was spotted here in front of the camera. It was recorded in a grassy field. This scene was really vibing very unease. The cat that was captured in the camera was moving here and there. It was very anxious and frightened, and moving with terror from place to place. Its tail was shaking with fear. The scene of this frightened bobcat manifesting that something was present here emitting the bobcat. It was actually a bobcat or wildcat having a brownish coat with black spots over the body. Suddenly, a peculiar scene happened here. The cat was misplaced from here, then a deer was found here instead of this bobcat. The air was filled with true enigma and doubts, like where this bobcat was gone, and what is the connection between the cat's anxiety and presence of this deer rather than the mystical cat. Strange. It was a deep, great mystery that the camera had recorded, which was not found or revealed yet. The air was filled with questions and queries. Is this a paranormal case or not? Still a big question. Paranormal encounter. The camera caught a very mysterious and spooky sight. The air was truly filled with panic and agitation. It was recorded on a spooky and eerie night. The operator was alone in that old building. Here, the very peculiar scene happened with the operator.
Hello?
The lady was standing in stairs, and she was not moving like she was still standing. It was in the white clothing. It was a very spine-chilling scene. It made the operator very anxious and terrified.
Oh my god! What the is that?
It ran quickly at fast speed down the stairs. It was a very mystical scene. What was this? This fearful creature was looking very scary, which made everyone terrified with its eerie appearance. This was a deep mystery. Is this a paranormal being or creature or something else? It is not found still, and still it is a puzzle.
Oh my god! What the is that?
Mysterious crawling creature. The camera recorded a rare and mysterious scene. The air was filled up with questions. In this video, a group of tourists were stunned. It was never seen before. This cryptic being was very peculiar, crawling on the ground. It had a long, scaly body and a powerful tail.
He didn't find anything.
But the most peculiar and creepy thing that was seen was that it seemed to be missing the front limbs of this creature or being. This creature was very rare. It also looked like an alligator, but it was situated on the sandy ground. Its powerful tail was shaking and rubbing on the ground as it was moving towards.
He didn't find anything.
It was a very mystical creature, or there's a very big mystery hidden behind. No one can find out what this was. The air was really filled up with many doubtful questions. It was not cunning what this was. A wild hog. The camera had recorded the presence of a mythical creature. It was a wild hog, also called wild swine, common wild pig. It was the most dangerous wild animal. The trail camera had captured the clip of this being present in the woods where there are large trees. It was grazing on a grassy land. It was very giant and hairy and had a big face. It was really a creepy creature that was looking very weird and bizarre. They are generally found in Eurasia and North Africa. The hog that was in the video had a scrunched face, pointy snouts, beady eyes, and large ears. It was looking very peculiar. It was a deep mystery of this creature's presence. The air was filled up with the uncanny. Snake's mystery unveiled. In the quiet daytime, a camera saw something strange in the wild. It found a group of snakes hiding among thick bushes. There were many of them, and they seemed like a secret society.
I don't know, guys. I don't think you're practicing your social distancing.
These snakes were long and slim, and they cautiously peeked out from a hole they had made in the ground. It looked like they didn't want to leave their hiding spot. All of them stood close together in a formation, and they moved their heads around as if they were on high alert, ready for something important.
Looks like more than a party of 10.
It was like they were prepared to face an enemy, but no one knew who or what that might be. Their hidden purpose remained a puzzle, and the snakes held into their enigmatic secret.
I'm sure I'm grossing out some friends, but you guys still love me being a nature nut.
As people watched this mysterious assembly, they couldn't help but be captivated by the snakes' unusual behavior. The reasons behind their actions and their hidden intentions were a riddle, buried deep within the Earth's secrets. This mystery remained unsolved, much like the snakes themselves, and their story remained forever locked in the unknown wilderness. Roadside hauntings. The video discusses a mysterious figure captured in the middle of the road at night, and it is so strange to look at it that it will chill you to the bone. The car in front of the person filming had to swerve to avoid the figure. But what supposedly was this creature? Some people think it looks like a ghost, while others wonder if it could be an alien. Although the filming location is unknown, the video highlights some well-known routes where reports of ghost sightings in the middle of the road have been made. A similar example might be the Clinton Road in New Jersey, known for its history of paranormal activity and the presence of a creepy ghost woman in white. Another eerie road mentioned is the Shades of Death Road in Warren County, New Jersey. Also in Texas, there's the Devil's Backbone, a scenic highway with legends of Spanish conquistadors and Native American warrior ghosts. The Bluebell Hill ghost has been reported to have been seen frequently on Kent's A229 road in England. The video emphasizes how these unexplained encounters and reports of strange figures seen on roads have sparked various theories and tales that have added to the mysteries of the paranormal. Goatman. In the cryptic shadows of the Hyattsville branch, a chilling revelation unfurled. A sinister video emerged, exposing the ghastly presence of the Goatman, a malevolent entity whispered of in terrified hushed tones. Whispers of its origins reeked of malevolence, seeping through the veins of this forsaken place. The very soil tainted by the horrors that unfolded. The Goatman, they say, has an insatiable thirst for blood, a gluttonous predator not discriminating between the pulse of humans and the heartbeats of innocent animals. This creature, recorded by an ominous trail camera, struck a stark and unholy image upon the minds of those who dared to bear witness. Its visage, a grotesque hybrid, sported a face akin to a goat's. Eyes like soulless voids, and a body that resembled a mockery of humanity itself. Its presence emanated a petrifying aura, an eerie, unsettling force that clung to the very marrow of the bones. They spoke in hushed murmurs of its tactics, how it stalked with eerie precision, silently a wraith lurking in the shadows. Abruptly it would strike, rending the unsuspecting prey to shreds, leaving only sorrow and blood-soaked ground in its wake. Then, like a wisp of malevolence, it would retreat into the gnarled woods, a sinister specter biding its time, waiting for the next hapless victim. But what eldritch force had birthed this abomination? No one knew how the Goatman had slipped into the very fabric of the forest, or why it haunted this wretched place. A shroud of mystery clung to it, a sinister enigma, unfathomable and unsettling. It said that these who dared to unravel its origins were consumed by an inescapable darkness, their sanity forfeit to the inscrutable malevolence of the Goatman. The Hyattsville branch bore witness to a horror that defied reason, an unrelenting terror that refused to yield its secrets. The Goatman's mystery, a macabre riddle wrapped in shadows, remained unsolved, leaving the world to shudder in trepidation, forever haunted by the nightmare lurking within. Mysterious Bigfoot sighting. In the daytime, a camera recorded something strange that got everyone talking. It happened in a thick group of bushes, and a Bigfoot came out of these bushes, a mysterious and huge creature.
An elusive creature. Alright, just squat it down.
Bigfoot had a unique style unlike anything we've seen before. It moved through the bushes in a way that made it seem like it knew the camera was there, but the camera was far away, so we couldn't see its features clearly. Still, its shape looked a lot like the legendary Bigfoot. People heard about this and started guessing. Some said it was just a person dressed up to trick everyone, while others said it was taller than any regular person, making them believe it was the real Bigfoot.
An elusive creature. Alright, just squat it down.
The mystery only got deeper as experts and fans studied the video. They wanted to know if it was a real Bigfoot or just a well-done trick. It was like a puzzle that no one could solve. In the end, we still didn't know who or what it was. This encounter with Bigfoot during the day fascinated and puzzled people. It showed how we're always curious about things we can't explain. The video reminds us that our world still holds secrets we haven't discovered yet. Mysterious creature. In a deep, dark forest, something strange happened. A special camera took a picture of a mysterious creature. The only thing we could see were its glowing eyes, like magical lights in the night. The person who owned the camera was really curious, so they made their phone screen very bright to see more. What they saw was a strange creature that looked a bit like a human, but it was hard to see its face. It was so eerie and scary, like it didn't belong to our world. This sight filled the camera owner with fear, making them too scared to go back to that forest again. People who heard the story were also scared. They talked about the creature, but no one could figure out what it really was. It was like a mystery that no one could solve, something strange and unknown. This strange being left a mysterious mark on the world, and its secrets would forever stay hidden in the deep, dark forest. Eerie creature's chilling encounter. In daytime, a strange video appeared. It showed something scary. A person who liked to jog in a quiet park saw something bizarre. He didn't know that something evil was nearby. While jogging, he saw a weird dark shape in the distance. It was black and didn't make sense. He thought it might be a big black bear or a wild dog, but it wasn't. This thing was pure evil. It had creepy eyes that felt like they could steal your soul. Looking at it sent chills down the jogger's spine. It was like a nightmare come to life. Its twisted, scary face seemed like it came from another world. Everyone who saw it was terrified. The jogger couldn't move, stuck in the monster's evil gaze. He realized he was in a place that didn't belong to our world. This thing was a mystery, something we can't understand. The video stopped, but the terror it showed never left. The mystery of this evil creature with its scary eyes and eerie presence stayed unsolved. It's a reminder of how unknown and frightening our world can be. Gorilla versus snake. In the jungle, there's a zoo with a funny and fascinating story. Some gorillas and a snake became the stars of a video that's been making people laugh and wonder.
Oh, there's a snake. Oh, that's awesome.
One clever gorilla first noticed the snake hiding in the bushes. He got so excited and yelled for his gorilla friends to come check it out.
Oh, Big Dad.
In no time, there were 5 or 6 gorillas, all looking surprised and amazed. But the best part was the funny dare. One cheeky gorilla challenged his buddy, saying, "If you give the snake a kiss, I'll give you 50 bananas." This was so silly that all the gorillas started giggling.
I can do something about it. Why are you doing it?
The brave gorilla decided to go for it and gave the snake a quick kiss. Everyone burst into laughter and cheered for him. The snake just watched, probably wondering what all the fuss was about. People at the zoo watched through a glass wall and couldn't believe their eyes.
Oh, there's a snake. Oh, that's awesome.
They had expressions of surprise and happiness, just like the gorillas. The video of this crazy moment spread everywhere, making people of all ages smile and be amazed. This funny encounter showed that nature is full of surprises. The gorillas were curious and playful, and the snake showed it had a good sense of humor. Even in a zoo, we can find moments that make us laugh and feel wonder. This video reminded us that our world is full of exciting and incredible things, even when we least expect them. Mysterious egret. In the bright daytime, something very strange happened in the peaceful park. There was a beautiful egret like a snowy angel standing all alone. But this egret was different, and that's what made this scene so weird. It had a hole in its neck like a hollow tunnel, and this didn't make any sense at all. As the egret moved gracefully, the hole in its neck was like a secret passage to a mysterious world where nature's rules had gone all wrong. At first, it looked like the egret was trying to catch and eat a snake. Its long neck was elegantly curved as it focused on the snake. But here's where it got really eerie.
So you just pulled that out of its neck.
Every time the egret tried to swallow the snake didn't stay inside. It kept coming out of the hole in the egret's neck. It was like a creepy dance, as if nature itself was playing a spooky game.
What's happening?
The egret, which should have been a symbol of innocence and beauty, now looked haunting. Its eyes revealed the pain it was going through. Nobody knew what had caused this strange hole in its neck, and no one could understand how much the egret was suffering. People in the park watched in amazement, their voices hushed.
So you just pulled that out of its neck. What's happening?
It was as if they stumbled upon a secret they couldn't explain. The truth behind this mysterious egret remained hidden, a puzzle that no one could solve. The egret became a symbol of the unknown, a reminder that there are mysteries in nature that go beyond our understanding. Its story would be told and retold in the park, a legend of the unexplainable. Mysterious fox and cat. In the daytime, something strange happened, and a camera was there to capture it. There was a cat all black and sleek, and a fox bright red like a flame. They were in a garden, and it seemed like they were in a mysterious showdown. At first, the cat was scared of the fox. The cat moved away slowly, stepping back. But the fox was very determined, like it had its own secret plan. The garden seemed to hold its breath, waiting for something to happen. And then, out of nowhere, the black cat made a run for it. It was like a ghost in the night, running so fast, leaving everyone puzzled. The fox, like a fiery shadow, chased after the cat, but it couldn't catch up. There was another fox, like a twin, making things even more puzzling. This mysterious event left everyone baffled. It was like a puzzle with missing pieces, and people couldn't stop thinking about it. Nature can be so full of secrets and surprises, just like this strange encounter in the garden. It was a reminder that there's always something mysterious waiting to be uncovered, even in the light of day. Skinwalker Mystery. The video shows a strange, mysterious, and unsettling encounter that happened at night in the grass. The person's attention is swiftly drawn to a strange pale creature in the video, which then charges toward the car.
Right there, what is that? Is that a buck? What is that? Dude, that's a...
Viewers were perplexed about its true identity after it flicked and took on an unusual appearance, leading them to believe it was a giant deer. In the video, a theory suggests it might be a skinwalker. Legends from the Navajo people describe creatures called skinwalkers, who can change their shape and have evil intentions toward people. According to Navajo legend, a skinwalker can transform into any animal and frequently perform dark magic. Some people think skinwalkers are real and commit evil deeds, even though many regard the idea as superstition. The Navajo people have stories about skinwalkers that have been passed down through the generations. And some people think that just talking about them will bring misfortune or indicate that they're there. The video also raises the question of whether the person who recorded it on their dashcam saw a skinwalker, or if there are other possible explanations for the weird-looking creature.
Right there, what is that? Is that a buck? What is that? Dude, that's a...
It heightens the controversy and mystique surrounding these sightings and the folklore associated with them. Eerie nighttime creature unveiled. In the dark of night, a camera saw something truly terrifying. It was a creature like a nightmare come to life. Its eyes glowed eerily like evil stars in the black night. As the night grew darker, a wicked, ghostly figure appeared. It was a scary thing with eyes that blazed like fiery embers from a cursed fire. It came out of the shadows like a spooky dance, and the camera captured this scary transformation. It looked like a web made of fear. This mysterious and horrible creature gave off a very old and bad feeling, making anyone who saw it really scared. It was like something that didn't belong in our world, a creature that was scarier than anything we could understand. On this cold night, nothing this horrifying had ever been seen before. It seemed to crawl out of the dark, and its evil purpose was hidden in its shadowy shape. It was a total mystery that left everyone who saw it feeling really afraid, like something very bad was about to happen. As the darkness took away the truth about what this thing was, the world shook with fear. Nobody could know what kind of evil was hiding in that terrible place, or what terrible plan this creature had for the world of the living. The camera had seen something no one should ever see, a glimpse into the darkest and most terrifying place. And the question remained, a mystery without an answer in the dark. Mysterious forest insect dance. Deep in the forest where the sun peeked through the leaves, a camera saw something strange. It was daytime and a group of insects circled a single stone. They moved in a never-ending loop, like a secret dance of nature. Each insect followed the one in front, almost like they had a special rhythm only they understood. It was like an invisible magic guiding them, a secret of the forest. Everyone watching, humans and animals, couldn't figure out why they did this. It was a mystery just like the warm forest breeze. People wondered what was the reason behind this mysterious performance. Some thought it might be an old ceremony, a way of honoring forgotten gods. Others imagined it as a tiny GPS system, nature's incredible precision on display. But no one could know for sure why they kept circling the stone. Some even thought these insects were messengers from another world, sending a cosmic message through their mysterious dance. A few believed they might be time travelers, repeating their loop throughout history. Whispers of ancient curses and magical stones filled the forest as people pondered the endless puzzle. The insects' dance continued. It was a never-ending enchanting show deep in the woods. The camera captured this timeless mystery, leaving everyone who saw it full of wonder and respect for the hidden secrets of the natural world. Frozen Ohio Bigfoot Mystery. In a faraway, lonely forest deep within Ohio, something strange happened. This place was far from where people usually go. It was all about nature and nothing else. In this quiet, snowy world, a very surprising thing was caught on a special camera. The people who owned this camera wanted to find out who roamed in the dark, cold night. They wanted to discover what animals lived there, but what they found left everyone puzzled. The camera took a picture of something in the shadows, something that some people say is Bigfoot, a legendary creature. This strange figure was all black, and it looked eerie in the winter's frosty air. The camera was far away, so it couldn't show the details of its face. Some people drawn to the remote place strongly believe that this picture is real. It fits the story of Bigfoot, a mysterious creature said to live in the wild, secret parts of the world. But not everyone agrees. Some says it's a trick, a fake. They think someone might have played a prank. These doubts split people's opinions like two different stories. The truth is still hidden deep in the woods. No one knows for sure what's in that mysterious photo. It's a puzzle that keeps us wondering. For now, the woods of Ohio keep this secret in their silent heart, and we can only imagine what's behind this strange picture. Mysterious encounter with Bigfoot. One eerie evening in northern Minnesota, something mysterious happened. A video appeared and it was quite unsettling.
Oh my god. Did you see that?
In the video, a dark and shadowy figure emerged from the ancient forest. This figure was known to many as Bigfoot, a creature of legend. The people in a nearby house were spooked by what they saw.
No way. What the
Their once calm hearts now raced with fear. They couldn't resist the strange pull of curiosity, which led them to come out towards this enigmatic presence. Maybe it was their primal instinct urging them to confront the mystery. Even their loyal dog sensed something unusual. It ran into the forest barking loudly as if challenging the creature. But the forest held secrets that were beyond the dog's understanding. It didn't take long for the dog to rush back to the safety of the house, clearly frightened by whatever it had encountered. The purpose of this elusive creature, Bigfoot, remained a puzzle. Was it a bearer of unknown horrors or a guardian of hidden forest mysteries? The truth was hidden away deep within the wilderness, leaving everyone in the dark.
Oh my god.
As the video came to an end, a chill ran down the spines of those who had watched this mysterious encounter. The presence of the black Bigfoot left an unforgettable mark on those who had seen it. In the depths of northern Minnesota, an unsolved mystery persisted, haunting the thoughts and hearts of those who dared to peer into the unknown. Biggest snake. Deep in a strange forest, a video showed something eerie. It gave everyone a creepy feeling. It was a massive snake, held up by a big machine called a crane. The snake looked like it didn't belong to our world. It was super long and its body was incredibly wide. Anyone who saw it got scared. People had so many questions. How did this enormous snake end up in the middle of the mysterious forest? Were these other animals in the forest, and were they terrified of this gigantic snake? The more they thought about it, the more questions they had. The forest seemed to hold secrets, as if it had stories to tell. People wondered if the snake was a protector of this strange place, or if it was trapped by something unknown. The air was heavy with fear, and the only sounds were the occasional noises from the crane. As the video went on, the snake's future stayed hidden in the shadows of mystery. What would happen to this colossal snake in the heart of the puzzling forest? People who watched were left with a mix of wonder and worry, trapped in a riddle that wouldn't give up its answers. It was a truly mysterious scene, one that would stay in people's minds long after they saw it. Mysterious woods, unknown creature. In a forest during the day, a strange video showed something scary. It made people very scared. 2 kids were playing there and they didn't know someone was following them. Their dad yelled for them to run away from the scary thing.
Get up here! Get away from him!
The video was not clear, as it was taken from far away. Nobody knew what the thing was or why it was there. It's a big mystery. The creature was hard to see in the video. It was like a shadow with no clear shape. People wondered if it was a ghost of the forest, or if it knew ancient secrets, or if it brought darkness. But nobody could be sure. As the video played, people had so many questions. What did the creature want? Was it good or bad? It felt like the forest and the creature were connected in a strange way, like they were meant to be together.
Come on, guys! You okay?
The mystery never got solved. The kids in the video were forever scared by what they saw that day. In the heart of the forest, where reality mixes with mysteries, the truth about the creature and its purpose stays hidden under time and shadows, a story that will always be a secret. Mysterious moose in city. On a bright day, something very strange happened in the middle of a big city. 2 huge moose, those giant animals from the wild, began to fight right in the heart of the city. This was not something people saw often, and it left everyone amazed. While cars sat still and houses looked on, the 2 moose were completely unaware of their surroundings.
Get back. Up here, be good.
They were locked in a weird battle, using their antlers to tussle. It was like they didn't even notice they were in a city. The noise of their struggle echoed through the streets and startled everyone who saw it. What's even more mysterious is that those 2 powerful creatures didn't care about the people watching. The people in the city were used to a different kind of life, and they couldn't believe their eyes. They stood there, frozen in amazement, as this strange and wild drama played out. The battle went on for a while, like a clash between nature and the city. But then, in a surprising and puzzling twist, one of the moose suddenly stopped fighting. It dashed away, disappearing into the maze of the city. The other moose just stood there, watching the first one run off. This bizarre scene frightened a little dog in the city. The dog barked and ran away, scared of the strange moose fight. Even the people who lived in the city were puzzled and afraid. They had no idea how these moose ended up in their city in the first place. The mystery of the moose's unexpected visit to the city left everyone scratching their heads. No one could explain why or how these wild creatures had entered the city, but it was a strange and unforgettable moment, a reminder that even in the most ordinary places, the wild and unknown could suddenly appear, leaving a lasting impression on those who witnessed it. Mystical moose encounter. In the snowy wilderness of Alaska, something strange happened. A man whose name we don't know went into an old shed one day. He was looking for something inside when he closed the creaky door behind him. The world got very quiet. All that could be heard was the soft sound of snowflakes falling, like nature's secrets whispered in the air. But then something eerie appeared. A huge moose, like a giant from a story, emerged from the snow. The moose moved gracefully, its big black eyes filled with mystery. The man felt very scared and hid in the shadows of the shed. It was as if the ancient spirits of the land had given him a warning. The moose just stood there, like a guardian to some hidden place. It felt like it wanted the man to come out and face something, but he was too scared to move. Time seemed to stand still with the sun watching silently. The moose's purpose remained a puzzle. Was it protecting a secret, or was it a message from the wild? Then, like a ghost, the moose turned and went back into the snowy wilderness. The man, still hidden in the shed, felt a huge sense of relief as the world came alive again. The snowflakes danced in the air, and the secrets of the shed stayed hidden. The moose vanished into the vast unknown. What was the moose trying to tell him? It was a question that would stay with him, a mystery that would always be part of the Alaskan wilderness. Thank you for coming along on this spooky adventure with us. Subscribe to our channel if you want more spine-chilling stories and hair-raising encounters. We're always going into the deepest recesses to bring you the most intriguing and terrifying video ever captured on camera. And remember to set that notification bell to ensure you get all the updates on our fascinating adventures.